Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is another night of Team Gap. LOL. It is myself, Primus Multis, casting with today my man Gitano, who this is our second cast together, I
This
believe.
is, yes.
Yeah, super excited. Red versus purple tonight. Second and third. This is the fight for second. This is literally the game for seeding. Outside of my team green, this is a very important game. These are top teams playing. This is going to be so hyped. I am so ready. Had a little bit of roster swap, so we did have an 80 carry switch. It's going to be Transcend Virtual playing for Team Purple today. He's going to be their 80 carry. But outside of that, it is still a part of Manny in the top lane, Laser Snipe in the jungle, Volps in the mid lane, and Mustard Cat in support. And on Team Red, we have Techi Tets in the top lane, WWWWGGGGG in the jungle, Cappy in the mid lane, Birds Are Spies in the 80 carry role, and Soviet Snipes is now playing as Sonar today. Same person, different name, but draft should be starting fairly soon. Yep, just started. So we are already underway for this very climactic series. So far, we have Vladimir banned by Bonk, Team Purple, and Aurelian Soul has been banned by XRising ESports, which I don't remember Volps playing a lot of Aurelian Soul. I don't think I've seen him play it thus far in Team Gap, at least personally. I don't know if you've seen that casting Purple, but
I have not either, but it's one of those, you always have your comfort pocket picks, and somebody could have done some internal investigation, and that's what they dug up.
yeah, and Aurelia ban from Team Purple. It's a very popular ban. I feel like everyone in Team Gap plays it. I mean, it's just a nutty champion. Can't let it go out. Nocturne ban coming from Red. Ban nobody, champion nobody wants to see. I know our jungler loves to play it. I mean, it's just press R and have fun. It's just a great champion. I love playing with Nocturne. And then Xin Joust, another jungle ban coming from Purple. So kind of similar ideas right now. Banning the solo lanes in the jungle. Anyway, assuming Red doesn't have as much information on Transcend, we haven't seen him play. So, they're probably just going to stick with the top and mid bans for now and probably in the second round. And Kale ban coming from Manny, not surprising. It's one of his favorite champions. Surprising, though, once again, there was not a Yuumi ban, which I don't know if you remember last week. They didn't ban Yuumi at all. And Mustard played at both games and I think died like twice. Had like 40 assists. Like it was, I may be exaggerating a little bit, but she's just super comfortable on it, and I don't really agree with just letting that one go. I mean, the KO I understand, the Doctor I understand. Really may have been out there. They still first pick the Kindred, so they're not going to first pick the Yuumi like they did last week. But interesting turn of events. Oh,
Well, that doesn't make
just
sense
kidding.
then.
I forgot. The Aurelion Soul is just a misban, so I forgot they lost a ban for this series. They just picked that just to move the draft on faster. Hecarim Mumu.
Moo support. I mean,
Mumu
Moo can
top
be
lane.
played a little couple of multiple positions, but ultimately
Yeah,
it's
I doubt Hecarim's going to be in a lane. So this is going to be Mumu going somewhere, and then a Lulu to respond. But I mean, with the Mumu change, I guess he could be more of support. I mean, he has even more CC than he did before, but we'll see what 80 carry they pair with him if that is a Mumu support. And then, of course, the classic Kog'Maw Lulu lane. Just crack, crack. Love to see it. Classic. I haven't seen it in a while, honestly. It kind of fell out of the meta there for a bit.
I think it's one of those picks that you kind of pick later in the draft, so then you know that you're kind of that safer pick if you do have that dive as Nocturne, but they do ban that. But there's a whole bunch of champions that can jump on that cog, and if you do get them down early, it hurts that much
Yeah,
more.
a
Same thing
Mumu
with the
Hecarim.
Kindred. If you don't,
Absolutely. Now there's an Akali. That's
oh,
a dive comp. That's a let me get in your face and slap you around. Like that's gonna be interesting. Whereas Kindred, Kagmalulu, they are going to be playing super safe this early game. So definitely going to be up to Red to try and make some plays early and try and get an early lead before Purple can scale. Obviously, we're going to have to keep an eye on all of the Kindred stacks. First 4 he gets a that that big bonus, and then every 3 after that. So 7 marks, pretty scary. Not letting Manny play Quinn as well. So we'll see what else they pick. I think they'll probably put a mid ban next, unless they just want to completely ban out Manny. Very possible. And then a Caitlyn ban coming from Purple.
Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of bans here. Like, obviously there's going to be a dive comp here for XRising, so you want to take away those things that can counter, like either a Nivea, Zir, like mid lane if you're going to stop,
Right.
Annie, those things that can obviously slow you down as you're engaging in. So it'll be interesting to see how top and mid responds to that.
Probably going to be control mage ban, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
or at least that's what I would do.
Last second Jax.
Yeah, but they're just gonna ban Manny out. They're just gonna not let him play the game, which I think has been a bit of a trend in Team Gap. Manny's a very strong player. They just don't want to see him on anything comfortable. But we'll see what the last ban comes for Purple. Probably going to be, I'm assuming, a top lane ban. We've already taken Caitlyn out of the game. I mean, maybe a Vayne who's super strong right now. Oh, well.
There you go. Something to match.
Yeah, I was like, unless it's either a Vayne or a top lane. Like, I mean, not really any like super strong AD carries right now. Maybe Kaisa, Jin's still pretty strong, Tristana, but I don't know. Every game I've seen Vayne, they just steamroll.
They pop off. Somebody gets them ahead snowball early, and by that 20-25 minute mark, you're 3-itemed and GG. Good luck.
Yeah, which is kind of weird that they banned the Caitlyn and the Vayne. I mean, Vayne can play into Caitlyn. It's just not fun. But like, I would have maybe like only banned one of those, or at least just left. I would have banned something other than Caitlyn. If you're already like worried about the Vayne, then like just leave the Caitlyn up at least. I don't know. I think they could have at least banned a top laner, because now, Etsy, who is actually going to have basically pick whatever he wants. Not a single top ban, and he gets blind pick, so, or the counter pick, excuse me. So, and he might have a tough
with
time.
the Diana. This will be a good matchup mid.
Oh,
yes.
Is it Volts? I know someone in the Gap League, I believe it's Volts, actually plays a mid Kindred.
Ooh, and then
I totally forgot about that. Yeah,
that would be very
absolutely
interesting.
Murdered with it last time we saw it.
Oh, and the Wombo combo here, Malphite Diana, on top of that Kindred, and
so
that is a very hefty comp. Level 6, watch out. But then on the other side, if you get, the Hecarim going, you get their Kali fed. They all have really good engage tools between the Amumu, the Ashe, the Hecarim. We'll see what this last pick is. I believe top lane, and if it is a support, then we know Amumu is going top side, so this will determine side. Ooh.
Yeah, this is just a big team fight comp coming from Purple, but very dive comp coming from Red. I mean, all of those champions outside of the Ashe just want to hop on you as soon as possible. That's going to be a very nutty early game. I mean, Silas, you expect it, into a Malphite, pretty standard counter pick, or at least for team fights, being able to steal that Malphite ult. I don't really see much. I mean, maybe stealing the Lulu ult will probably also be good, but I think that's mostly just for the Malphite.
Even if a Kindred ult, you see Malphite go in, the Diana Wombo combo, you hit that ult for the Kindred. If Silas is stealing that, and that just saves your entire team. I look at, Team Purple, that's a lot of burst. Right away with that Malphite Diana comp, but then after that initial couple of seconds, then you're kind of waiting on cooldowns and kind of playing on your back foot. Well, XRising, that's where they want you. They want you to move and get away, but we'll also see, because I love the pony. I want to see the steps get out of there.
Well, last time we casted, we calculated your win
more
percentage
feet
increases the more legs you have.
And that's exactly how it's going to go here. So
there's 12 legs coming from the side of Red. That's Not
That's a lot of
saying it's an
legs.
advantage, but I'm not saying it's not.
Very true.
All
Ooh,
right, and predictions
predictions.
are up. So, um, I I really want to see Red come out here just because I like the aggressive comps. Um, I really want to see what they can do with this. Definitely a lot riskier, especially if they fall behind early game. But
I put all
I
my votes into red. I'm either going home a rich man or broke. They've got the
well,
legs. They've
I
got the
dumped all my
legs.
points on our game, the one game we lost last week. So I am poor when it comes to gaps right now.
I should
But
be able to lend you some. So
I'll give a couple hundred to Red. Honestly, I think this could go either way. These are both super
for
strong
sure.
teams. Uh, Two very similar team comps. They both won a team fight, but in different ways. Red, they aren't a complete like pick comp. Like they still have a lot of tools for the team fight. They got the Mumu, they got the Ash, they have the Silas, but they're going to be a lot more aggressive in the early game. So I think this is going to be very important for Laser to be able to just get around the map for sure. And just really just counter all of this aggression that was most likely going to come from WG's Hecarim. Um, I mean, Hecarim wins that early, pretty sure. So Purple just has to be careful with their wards, and like they need to keep an eye on where WG is the entire game, or else it's going to be a little tougher. Hecarim obviously really good ganks, especially if you're pushed up with no vision. That's when it gets really scary. I mean, it's Malphite and a Silas. I don't think there's really going to be anything going on there, but I think there's going to be a lot of blood in the mid lane. I think Kindred into a Kali, that's going to be super fun. I think that's going to be where
Interesting.
most of the action's going to be. I mean, Lulu Cog, they just want to farm up and not do anything. Cog does do a decent amount of damage early game, but I mean, it's Cog Ash. It's going to be very uneventful, I think, outside of any jungle ganks.
Yeah, I agree. I am curious to see where Hecarim's going to go first. Level 3, or if there's going to be some cheeky invade. Really tip the scales. But
We
yeah,
always love an invade. I'll always say it should happen, but I'm anticipating a
realistically,
top gank first, just because with Malphite, until you get that Bramble Vest, or I guess in this case it'll probably be some MR. He doesn't have any tank sets. Level 1, level 3. He's very squishy. He's very killable, and that's probably the one of the only times you're going to be able to kill him easily is literally the first few minutes before he gets any tank items.
yeah, before that level 6 mark, if he extends over pushes, it's just going to be very difficult. And with his Git 2, his Rock Slap, I mean, that thing is going to be pushing your wave. Your E will push as well. There's a lot of tools for you to extend out. And, with Hecarim, he's going to come in fast and hard, even if you have it warded. Silas preparing the CC for that as well. So putting that Malphite behind will definitely catapult them.
Yeah, which he still is a Malphite. He doesn't need to be super ahead. Obviously, they want all of their resources onto Kindred and Kog'Maw, especially the Kog'Maw. Late game can be absolutely disgusting if he ever gets to that point. For 40 minutes in the game, like that Kog'Maw is going to be shredding people. I mean, especially since Amumu is going to be a support, like we anticipated. He's not going to have a lot of tank items because he is going to be a support. Hecarim's going to be more of a bruiser. They don't have really a front line like Purple does. Diana probably going to be building a little bit more health. I don't think Laser's going to be going for a full glass cannon build. So, and especially with Kindred, like you don't need to be tanky because you could just not die, and then you still have the Lulu ultimate. So
Yeah,
they
it'll be
have the
interesting
ability.
too
Yeah, they have
about
the
the
ability to
roaming.
outlast Red. So I think that's why they
Yeah,
need to get ahead. All right.
the kindred marks are going to be a little bit harder now that you're not going to be the jungle roaming around. But if you do have that pressure of Diana and Kindred are able to, simultaneously go into wherever that
Mm.
mark is and kind of force Hecarim out, they can definitely get the marks, but that will slow the Kindred scaling down quite a bit.
Right, and that's how Volps was able to get ahead last week, or it was 2 weeks ago when he played Kindred. When you're in the mid lane, you have access to both scuttles. They're right next to you. So if a scuttle pops up on the map and it's marked, you're probably going to be the first one to see it because he's probably going to be looking at it the whole time. He's going to be closer to it than some of the junglers, most likely. So he'll probably get first priority on that scuttle, and then also he can mark a collie every time, and just keep a collie marked. Or if he gets a lane gank and they kill a collie, that's already one mark. He doesn't have to like when you're kindred, your mark when you mark a champion, it has like a little bit of a cooldown on, and you can't use it like right before you fight or like while you're fighting. You have to use it a little bit before. Whereas like
Yeah.
right now, like he can just put it on a collie and be fine, or put it on the Hecarim. And if he gets ganked, gets a kill on the Hecarim, there's another mark. So he knows who to mark and where the marks are going to be. So it's both easier for him, but also easier for Red to know where that Kindred is going to go. They have to contest the scuttle, or else this Kindred's just going to get ahead. At that fourth mark, it's actually a huge boost in attack speed and crit. So, especially that's going to be at that point when he's probably going to have that Kraken Slayer. Gross. Not a good time. I believe he was 12-0 at one point last time I saw him on that Kindred.
That's going to be scary. Kindred, even with those ability to dash away, I mean, you can be within a Malphite range all the way, and you're still going to be getting hit by everything. 3 proc marks, similar to the Vayne and whatnot. Curious to see objective 2, who's going to take control of that, and who's going to dictate that pace of game.
Right.
I would like to see a cross map Ashe shot, couple of them. I love to see the Jinx, the AD.
Yeah, we
carries
haven't
make those
seen many of
globals.
those in Gap. Yeah, like every time I see, I believe one of the games last week where there's an Ashe, most of those like long range Ashe ults always missed. So we never got to see, a cross map Ashe ult and won the fight. Tried several times, just wasn't able to make that happen, sadly. But we will be getting into the game shortly. We are loading in Team Red, XRising ESports versus UWRU Bonk, Team Purple. I'm so excited. This is going to be the battle, definitely the game of the week, and also I believe our only game this week. So,
You're the favorite child, yet you're the only one.
yeah, I mean, if this was, I kind of wish this was the last game of the series. Either one of the top 3 teams was the last game, but I know at least Team Green has played both Red and Purple. I'm pretty sure all the top 3 teams have played each other. So, going to be more of a quiet week next week. While the top teams kind of see who can win that week 7. It will make a big difference on the standings. But this is literally the battle for second place, essentially. So, and once again, second place will be playing the 4th seed of Team Gap once we start playoffs, and then the 3rd seed, and then whoever gets 1st seed will be playing the 4th place team. So actually, if they both stay 2nd and 3rd, they're just going to play each other again first for playoffs. So, but if you do have the higher seed, you get to pick the side in the first game. So if they do stay 2nd and 3rd, and they're going to be playing for the side essentially.
So 5 point coming out. No invades, unfortunately, but I think that is the correct call right now.
Yeah, with so much on the line, invades are just so risky. I mean, they can be good. You can get a lot out of them. But you can also lose a lot. That early jungle tempo, especially in this game, with all these champions that need to scale up, early leads will make a difference. Especially like Kog'Maw and Malphite do not do well when they're behind, for sure. Ashe will be fine. She's going to CC. Move's just going to stick on her. And they also don't need to, or they need to play aggressive. So if they don't, I don't really see this going into Red's favor. But they have so many tools that's why I have a good feeling about this.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see how their early aggression, Kindred already, and just kind of pushing that Kali out of lane for range. Red ward, red side warded on blue, so then they'll be able to tell Diana's jungle path. We'll see if there is something cheeky level 2. She'll go up top. Doesn't look like anything right there, but I'm interested to see how this bot lane too. It's going to be a wet noodle fight, but I'm hoping they maybe packed like a steel tire iron in the middle of it or something just to give us a show.
Yeah, that's why I think a lot of this action is going to be in the mid lane, just based on these team pick or these champion picks. Um, Obviously, Kog'Maw going to take the cleanse, so not going to be able to get as much out of that Ashe ult while that cleanse is up. Not surprising though. I mean, against Amumu Ashe, especially as Kog'Maw, you definitely need that cleanse. And grass coming out for Manny usually melee matchup. It's probably better in my opinion to take Comet. Cause you're able to just spam that Q, and you know at least poke him out until you get items. Whereas right now, if he goes for a grass proc, Silas is going to do exactly that. So
Yeah, usually that combo hits way too hard for your grasp to even try to negate the damage, or you'll at least extend out the trade. But like you said, yeah, until he gets those items, it's going to be a very rough lane.
yeah, pretty standard runes all around. Nothing really out of the ordinary outside of that. I do
Mumu
like.
going in right now, Lulu going a little low, some ignites going out, and heal blown, both supports looking very rough right now. Lulu trying to get a little bit of health back. Wet noodles, they hurt level 2.
Yeah, and Lulu still has heal, but had to burn the flash. So flash burn from the side of purple, but heal and ignite burn from the side of red. So
Might
coming out a
fight
little
going
bit ahead.
on. Hackram trying to get in there, not quite gonna happen. First blood going over to Kindred. That will be not the way they wanted that to go. Akali wasn't quite able to roam with.
What did I say? I knew that they were going to be the first ones to that scuttle.
Called it.
And that's already mark number one. It's not even 4 minutes in the game for Kindred.
Ooh,
Uh,
Diana going in, trying to get that wombo combo. A Mumu having to flash out there. Almost a 2-0, and that would have been not a great start.
yeah, Sonar, Soviet getting really low there. That was really close. But Cleanse did come out for the Kog'Maw, so a lot of summoner spells burnt from the bot lane at the moment. Manny taking, getting chunked pretty hard. Like I said, I don't think he's going to be able to do much right now. Super squishy. Silas, that combo just hurts so much. And if Techi's able to get, the Q and then the chain, he just is going to clean up.
Really nice 1v1 right there. That Kindred mark just overextending, or that Kindred being able to hop over a little bit here and there with the flash and exhaust. Get a nice solo kill, and unfortunately for Akali, this is going to be a really rough lane. You do really well at those bursts, but until you hit that level 6 where you have that ability to finish, Akali's going to be starved for most of the game.
Bulbs hasn't even bought yet. He's still, he just bought the Noon Quiver, but he hadn't purchased items yet. He just got 2 kills, or he had already gotten first blood, and then he got the other kill. He literally just backed with a Noon Quiver into boots.
Within 5 minutes, that's got to be frightening. And I'm not quite sure even too if Hecarim can do anything at this point, especially with those double buffs on. It's going to be scary. I hope I don't see, and I hope I also do see a 12-0 Kindred right away, because that is absolutely
It was
immaculate.
terrifying.
Yes.
If I see purple in our silver final, he's not going to play Kindred. That's not going to happen. We're not going to see
Hard
it.
ban.
Not going to allow it. Especially from what we've seen here, he knew exactly how much damage he would have done to that collie. That was very calculated. This is just rough. Kind of Cappy. Oh, he went back in because the Hecarim was coming, but a little bit of miscommunication. Probably going back. I mean, Cappy thought he had the Hecarim there. He's fine, but Kindred just hurts too much. And now we have a level 7 Kindred to a level 5 Akali. Like I said at the beginning of the game, this is where all the blood's going to be. I mean, there's been a lot of fighting bot lane, but that's where all the kills are going to be. And that's, not surprised, but they just killed mid lane. Now they have drag prio. So first drag of the game going to UWRU Bonk. Love to see it. Cast a curse so far. Sorry, Red. I hate to do it to you. Pretty much everyone I've picked while casting has always lost.
I feel you. Last week I went home a very sad man, but there's always room to change. You're like the gambling man that's on a cold streak, but eventually you will hit a hot streak.
Eventually. Hey, this game's far from over. There's still, like I said, lots of tools for Red, but they have to turn around very soon because Purple is not an early game team. Like Kog'Maw, Malphite, Kindred, they are not ones that stomp early and then fall out late. It's very
Double
much the
Malphite ult
opposite.
against each other, and Silas trying to get that kill on Diana. Does happen to get it, but Kindred is right there. Malphite will hold off on slapping just for the Kindred. Another mark going over, potentially, I believe.
I don't believe he was marked, but he did get the
Thought
get
the
the
scuttle
scuttle.
was. Let
So
me.
he's on
Yes,
three
that is
marks
three
now.
marks. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
So
assuming he's gonna mark a collie again. No. So the Hecarim is currently marked. So we'll see if Kindred's going to kill the Hecarim once again. Soviet trying to clear some of the Dragon Vision, but so far really good vision coming from Purple as well. They have obviously just took the top scuttle, and they do have that deep ward in Red's blue side jungle. So they've spotted the Hecarim. They know exactly where he's at. They're going to play safe and just recall bot. And Diana now has, Laser has the ability to gank the bot lane because Hecarim, as you're seeing now, he's going to be going top lane and he's going to be hopefully get that marked Raptor camp in his red side jungle. So maybe going to see a gank for Purple on the bot lane.
I'm really really curious how this mid's going to play out right now. Everyone got 3-man dive right now going towards ultimate
Bolts
coming
has no
down.
vision.
Oh, Kindred ult trying to save a little bit of everyone right now. Akali trying to go back and get the kill will not be grabbing it. Kindred grabbing another kill and a second kill. Kog'Maw on the back end too, down below getting one. That is not what you want to see.
Wow, and a bot
3 for
still
0.
going down bot lane as well.
Yes, this is becoming a very bad teeter totter that you want to jump off ASAP here. Kindred's able to negate all the farm that Akali can get with a good wave manipulation, keeping it at that tower and forcing people. Malphite ult looking right now for Silence going a little bit deep in the jungle and getting punished for it right there. If I'm if I'm Rising right now, I just want to farm. I want to stop all the fighting, give the next two dragons over, and just farm.
I mean, the problem is like they can't farm. They really can't because that's not how their team comp works. They don't win late. Um, they have to do something soon. Or else I don't see them coming out with this. I mean, 8 kills already coming from the side of Purple. It's almost 1 kill a minute. I mean, so basically they've gotten 1 kill a minute since uh, monsters came. Literally 1 kill a minute. And it's only going to get worse because these champions are going to be so fed. And they don't have a front line. So Malphite can just sit there and let the Kog'Maw Kindred shoot you up because Kindred, when she gets more marks, she gets more attack range. So the more this Kindred gets marks, the easier it is for them to just play front to back.
Oh man, and a Gale Force right away before the 10-minute mark. That is just being uber fed right now. Hopefully they continue to play through mid, and I really feel for this Akali. It's not something you can do. The scale of severity tipped where you just have to, hope later on your other lanes are doing enough. Kindred going down right here. I think she can 2v1 personally. A little late to the scuttle, but what can you do? And also Dragon coming up here in less than what have we got? It's 5 seconds? Yes. 5 seconds for Dragon. Let's get the fight started.
That's a very caught out Soviet.
Ash Arrow just missing a little bit right there. Mumu trying to get over the wall. Can't do it. Does not have ult. Diana also going in, finding the Hecarim there. Another 2 kills going over for Purple. Ooh. It
That
is
is just
getting rougher and
unfortunate.
rougher by the minute.
Well, and this Silas pick's not going to work out either. I mean, he got 1 kill on the Diana, barely. But But Malphite's ahead in CS, so I don't think Sao stealing the Malphite ult is really going to do anything. Obviously, their top lane pick is not what's affecting this game. Ulp's Kindred pick is what is killing this game.
Ash and Cog in the 1v1. It looks like pretty even. Lulu decided to step in and say no more. And there's the Kog'Maw ult. Kog'Maw as well, 3-0 right now. Really great start for them. Pretty much every lane. I mean, Diana and Hecarim, even with the 0-3 kills, farm difference are right there. But second Dragon also going over Mount. I'm curious to see if we're going to get Inferno.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
We might see a 12-0 Kindred this game. Very possible. He's just so ahead. I mean, he's 2 levels up on both the mid lane, 3 levels up on the jungler. He's just so ahead this game. Up in CS, up in kills. He's got a 700 gold bounty. So I do want that to go on the Akali. That will help Cappy at least come back a little bit. That 700 gold, that 1,000 gold kill is going to be a lot. I mean, that's almost, like a lost chapter or something. That's a big component that you wouldn't have otherwise. So
yeah, it'll definitely help balance out this game a little bit more towards the right side of the scales. Malphite once again trying to trade out with Silas, and the more and more it happens, the more tank Malphite gets, the worse it's going to become for that Silas. Bot lane, not too much CS difference, 95, 96. Mid lane, despite the discrepancies, 95, 73, but those kills are the main source of it for the itemization, and we are a little over 6k right now for the gold difference.
Yeah, and I mean, that 20 CS does make a big difference. Just in 20 CS can be a lot, especially that's going to stack. That lead's only going to get bigger. So I do foresee Cappy just not being able to do anything this game. It's going to be rough for Red. They have to get a pick though. They really do.
Azure coming up, trying to find Lulu polymorphine and getting out of there right now. Dive coming in. Amumu is going to be falling in. Hecarim's the next target right here. TP coming in from Akali. Not in a great spot, but you can't cancel it anymore. Shroud's trying to get out of there. Does Shuriken away in another TP by Malphite. They're looking for Silas right now. There goes the ult. He has not stolen anything yet. Steals the Kindred ult. Going to stay alive for a little bit more, but unfortunately it's not going to last forever. Kog'Maw coming in, and it looks like Kindred for another kill. There's your 10-0. You got 10 down, 2 to go.
I mean, I don't want to say caster curse, but that's more of a caster. I don't know what the opposite of a curse. I guess it's a foreshadowing, but that's just rough. I mean,
can I get the Powerball numbers for next week if you're going to be predicting things?
25, 6, 17. 48, 50.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here, folks.
Solo kill coming in the bot lane. TP coming in as well, trying to get that Kindred nice and low. Kali, great shutdown there for 1,000. That will definitely, hopefully, finish out her mythic item. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, turret will be going down, and then all they have is top left, and that will be all the outers.
It's because we said something, Gitano. 11-0. Never made the last one.
Hey, I mean, that's a good run right there. It may not be perfect, but it's damn well close.
You're ahead when you die, you lose your shutdown, and you still have a shutdown. Little terrifying.
You still have a backup one.
Yeah.
Malphite just not in the greatest position. No ults quickly to get him out. Hecarim going to be diving as well, and Akali helping Silas right there, picking that up, and that'll help as well. Diana on the backside here trying to get that Hecarim, trying to walk away, but will not happen. We do have Dragon in 1 minute. We'll see if they start crowding around that way, or if they're going to look for another fight. Silas going in right now, missing the change, but Diana on the backside trying to jump on him. We'll hit it all. Lulu ult popping him up, and that'll be enough time there for Kindred. Not quite 12-0, but 12-1, still just as scary.
Yeah, they're going to take this rift. Plates are already down, but most likely going to drop this mid. And if I'm not mistaken, Volps is seeing it too. There is a mark up there on drugs. So another mark for Kindred just given away
Number
for free.
6.
Is that number 6 already?
Yes. Yep.
Wow. So one more mark, and that's that's gonna be scary. That's gonna be his second bonus of the game. Not even 20 minutes in, he's gonna have 12 marks by the end, and this is deja vu from 2 weeks ago. He did the exact same thing. Nothing's changed. And it all started from not contesting that first scuttle. They saw the mark; they should have been there first, but they weren't. Kindred got the scuttle and got the first blood, and it's just been downhill from there.
Rift going to be up top here. A couple of pings coming out for that as well. That tower's, I believe, going to kill Scuttle, but it's going to be very dangerous. Looks like Rising has the priority right there. They will be taking a dragon. I don't think this is too much of a bad beat, giving them the one dragon. Obviously, you don't want it to become a consistency thing where, now you're 2-2, 3-2, and now you have to worry about soul point. There's definitely, room to give a dragon or two.
Right.
Diana getting sped up right now. A Mumu ult going down as well. Popping that Lulu ult will be Silas. Ash arrow coming around. Does hit 2 people, allowing for a little bit of time right there. Kindred will get another kill as well. Malphite trying to chase down that Ash. Grass hit will slow a little bit and won't chase further.
Yeah, also Gitano, my client is bugged. None of the champions and minions are going away after they die. So I can't really see everything.
Good.
And also some of the champions aren't coming up. Like they're just invisible. So I'm glad I'm not doing play-by-play because I literally can't see some champions. So you got the play-by-play. I'll keep the analysis up.
If you do want to try to hot restart, I can take over for you for a little bit.
It's fine. It's fine. I just need the top level. I just need the big picture. That's all anyone ever wants to hear from me.
You can do the outside of the border of the puzzle. I'll fill all the insides in.
I mean, that is the hardest part, to be fair.
It is.
I'm kidding. That's the easiest part of the outside because they have the hard edges.
Exactly. What if you accidentally cut your finger while doing those hard edges? It happens.
Knowing me, I would definitely paper cut easy. It's gonna happen. If there's any way I could just mess up a puzzle and hurt myself,
you're one of those that can mix flour and water and then end up starting a fire.
Yes.
Perfect.
My roommate's one rule in the house is don't burn it down. So.
And you've tested that multiple times.
No comment.
The safe answer.
Yeah. I haven't done it yet, so.
Ooh, Silas trying to back in a bush, getting a little bit of caught out, and Kindred. It's as soon as she sees you, you either have to A, flash away over a wall, B, have your entire team there, or C, just lay down and nap, because that might be your best decision. TP coming out from Malphite. Not going to find anyone right there, but it is a split push 3-2 mid lane, and top, we'll see where they end up committing. Backing off, and that's another Kindred mark, and that'll be your 7.
Oh, don't tell me that. That's just gross. That's illegal, honestly.
I don't think anyone's going to get arrested.
7 marks in 21 minutes. Wow. Yeah, Techi's doing his best. He's been kind of the shining light on this team. Losing the counter matchup is rough, and that's very dead Soviet. Like I said, this is not Tank Amumu. He hasn't even completed his mythic yet. Very squishy, especially when you've got a 14-1 now 15-1 Kindred. It's just gonna get blown up.
Melt like butter in a microwave.
Yeah, they were on him like white on rice. Or, free Baron. There's really nothing Red can do at this point. I foresee this being a very quick game. I actually need to check with our stats team on the quickest game of this Team Gap. we'll definitely have to post our quickest and longest game once the normal season has completed. Always love to see that. Those fun stats. No hour-long games, thankfully.
You say that, but the next game we'll hit like an hour and a half game. We'll just be Baron Elder, Baron Elder, Baron Elder, and not one team can finish. We do have a move on the backside here. Might be looking for something cheeky. I think this is the
I mean,
final
they have
stand
to
of
at this
theirs.
point.
Yeah,
You know?
you know, you got Silas on the back. Hecarim trying to look for something too if there's a priority target, but they just do a so good job of spacing out and keeping those priority picks safe as well. And with Kindred, you can't burst before the ult. You have Lulu for the Kog'Maw as well. And if you go into anyone else, it's just 100% a waste of resources because the rest of the team is going to get you. Dragon in 10 seconds. I don't see any contests coming up as well for this one.
No, I mean they're going to be on Soul Point. I mean the team's not even in the area. Purple has Baron. They have the prio. I mean, look at all that vision they have. I meant to comment on this earlier, but I believe that like 15 minutes in the game, right where Red had probably their last chance to come back, there were 5 pinks on the map, and not even in like just in the river. Like they were deep. Some of those were deep pink wards. Purple has, and especially Soviet snipes or now Sonar is so good at this. Uh, he's usually normally like the vision king, but Purple and Mustard Cat, and it's really just a team effort. With all those pinks, just not letting him do that, just not letting it happen. Um,
I look right now, Malphite has 2 pinks. We see Diana with 2 pinks. We have Kindred with a pink. We have Kog'Maw with a pink. I mean, the whole team is not allowing themselves to get caught out.
and that's literally the only way they ever lose this is if the Kindred or the Kog'Maw get caught out. Kog'Maw obviously a lot easier to kill, so that would probably be the easiest target. But obviously a 15-1 Kindred is not going to go down easy. So
And
I
how do you
don't. I
get to
mean,
him at this point? There's not a great way to do that.
yeah. I mean, they have to Ashol, Amumu ult, Hecarim ult. They have to throw everything at this Kindred just to be able to kill him.
Astro
Um,
coming in, but Lulu unfortunately is the recipient of a whole bunch of CC. Still surviving with quite a bit, and Kindred just a couple of shots right there. Able to make the entire team retreat. Flash coming out as well. 1 kill, 2 kill. Looking for a third. A Malphite all going in, trying to get that, and does, but triple. There is where I want to see the Penta, but I don't think I'm going to give that up. I could be mistaken, and this will probably be game. Mumu dashing in right now, and my computer decided to freeze right now, so I won't be able to do the play-by-play.
yeah, that typically
But
happens when the game ends. For some reason, the spectator doesn't like us to watch the rest of the game, but we all know it was going to happen. I mean, 18-1 Kindred. What do you expect? I want some advanced analytics, but I mean at that point in the game, it's really like yeah. I can't grow a beard. It's not a thing. Doesn't happen. And I lose some more gaps. What's new? Congratulations, Team Purple, on that very decisive win. Um, we will be most likely be going into the next draft shortly.
speaking of that, we're looking for new jungle on purple. Pull my penta.
Yeah, Volks is already
Little banter
talking
back and
mad
forth.
smack about his Diana. I mean, for about like 15 minutes, Diana was the only kill on, or the only death on purple. So, I mean, I'm not gonna say it, but
Report for feeding. I'll do it.
right, exactly.
Yeah, I think that was more of a draft diff, unfortunately. You know, if I'm red right now, I'm leaving that in the back of my mind. I'm looking for game two. How can we prevent this from happening besides banning the Kindred, which I hope happens. But what are those early game moments that started the tilt, and then what can we do drafting for that second time?
Yeah, and Red will have all bans for this next round, so hopefully they'll utilize all three of those bans. I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be a Kindred ban. Um, Buster didn't play the Yumi, so you probably won't see a Yumi ban. They'll probably stick with the Nocturne Kale, and then just ban Kindred Nocturne Kale is what I'm assuming will happen. Um, Other two bans we shall see. We'll see. Yeah, so since Red lost the first game, they will be picking their side, and they'll be on the blue side this game. So we're gonna flip it around. Going to be Team Red on the blue side, which always confuses me. And luckily, we don't have a Team Blue in the Team Gap series. I don't have to worry about that. But whenever Team Red's on blue side, it's can't do it. Can't do it. Team Red, why you gotta do me like that? Just play Red side the whole time. Come on, guys.
Who's on first? What's on second? There's on third. The
Exactly.
whole shenanigans.
But yeah, we'll be going
Can't
into
wait.
draft shortly as soon as our wonderful host Ryline makes the draft lull. Um, yeah, not as I thought that was going to be a lot closer game, to be honest. Um, the draft links have been made, but let's go and talk about the draft from last game. So I think Purple definitely drafted exactly what they wanted. I mean, outside of even if the Kindred didn't get super ahead, I think they had a game plan. Let Red make the mistakes. Let them, because actually most of the early kills outside of that first blood on Hecarim was reactionary kills. It was Red starting the skirmish, and then Purple capitalizing their mistakes and winning the fight. Is I believe most of their early kills at least. Like that dive onto the Kindred mid lane, giving 2 kills to the Kindred. That was super problematic. I don't think that was necessary. I think if they didn't kill the Kindred, they did send a lot of people, but if they didn't kill the Kindred before, you know, she ulted, before Volps ulted, I think that's when it was just a little too tough. Um, because Kindred, she has the dash, and they don't have a lot of CC for Hecarim Akali. They can't lock down the Kindred, so I think they should have backed off if they couldn't get the Kindred in the lane, if they couldn't burst him. So really tough for them. I think that definitely lost in that early game. But we will be going to draft shortly. What are you hoping to see from this next draft?
I'm hoping
Gitano?
the Kinder Band, the Aurelia, the Kale, like all those ones that we saw past, plus the Kindred, because I beyond the Kindred mid, if we take that out of the equation and we put a control mage of some sorts, I think the game would have been much slower. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping to see those save picks, and if they do want to go for a pick comp, one of those fast boy speed ones, then you gotta really crush it. You gotta figure out what lane can we get snowballed ahead. Instead of being reactive, you're putting it to them. But like you stated before, the vision that they had so many deep pinks. You knew where Hecarim was. I mean, those are ones that you would have for Nocturne and Zac and those type of junglers that will kind of come out of left field to crash into you. But having that information, just on the opposite jungler where he is, allows you to play that passive aggressive, dictate that tempo of the game. So I'm hoping to see a little bit more for XRising to, you know, nail that vision more down early, and then also those 50-50 plays that didn't go, their way right away. A couple of bot lane trades that, like the Ashe and Kog'Maw, they were going 1v1. I think Ashe would have had it, but then Lulu kind of stepped in and said, "Nah, not today." And then top lane as well. Once at a certain point where Malphite got too tanky, it's like, what do you do at this point? How are you gonna sustain lane? So honestly, I think it was more draft diff than actual play wise. So I'm hoping this time they're a little bit more patient with it. Don't show too much early in the forefront, and then on the backside, target ban. You said there was a Caitlyn ban and a Vayne ban. Usually you don't see both of those coming out from the same side. So,
Right.
or if you are, you're gonna pick one, ban the other. So
Yeah, I think actually, to be honest, it was a mix of the draft difference. I think it was a good draft on both sides. It's just, like I said, red has to be aggressive and they have to um, be definitive and make the plays early. As soon as Hecarim gave up that first blood in the early game and lost, a lot of early game leads and a lot of just tempo. As soon as that tempo goes down, especially when you're a racy fast horse, like that makes a huge difference. And he's not able to do anything around the map. And then his lanes of purple just stood their ground and just didn't lose lane. They didn't play like, I wouldn't say like exceptional. Manny just trying to stay alive in the top lane. Kog'Maw and Ashe just beating the shit out of each other the whole time. Um, just auto attacking the whole time. So it's not like there's some huge macro play from the top and bot. Very consistent play, coming from purple. They knew the assignment and they performed, but I think a lot of the reason why red lost that early game was just mistakes. Giving up the first blood, giving up the double kill in mid, giving up those trades, not really killing the Malphite when they could. He did, this size did get a few kills early. The only kills that Red got for most of the game.
looks like they are ready for draft.
Sounds good. So we should be getting draft underway. Super excited. Like I said, Red, Nocturne. If you want to keep the Nocturne Kale, cool. I would also please ban the Kindred, maybe the Yuumi. Probably going to see the same bans from Purple. I don't think there's anything they saw that they didn't want to see.
I was curious about the Vex too. I believe that is banned out for another week, if not two. So I'm curious if there was some mix up there. If that is if there should be a different champion that is not Vex.
I will double check because Vex is currently banned from Team Gap. I'm going to double check with the teams just to make sure. See if that was intentional, but probably same bans coming from Purple. I do forget there's an emergency sub coming from Red, so they lose a ban. That's right. Yeah, so they lost a ban, so they just ban Vex, keep it going. Nocturne, and then there's the Kindred. So Kale is going to be up for Manny this game. They may not plan to play it. When you have that one trick that you play constantly, like Mustard Cat's Yuumi, Manny's Kale, soon to be Volps's Kindred is just going to be permabanned. You kind of expect it to be banned, so then you just kind of stop playing it, and you start practicing other picks. And the Xin Zhao coming out for Red, which was banned in the first round last game. So
yeah, curious to see what the first two picks are. If they're gonna approach for the bot lane, grab an early jungler away, Kog'Maw, blind pick. This is a little bit of a flex. I feel like we'll first pick it, and we'll see if you can do something this time. Very interesting.
Yeah, so probably going to be seeing the Lulu again. I'm assuming, unless Mustard wants to play the Yumi. But WG is very comfortable on Zen. He does play it a lot. Has played it a lot in solo queue and his games. But
Takes the Amumu on the other side here. They are really trying to hard flex. Caitlyn picked up the
they,
other side.
yeah. Do you think this is going to be a Mumu jungle or an Amumu support? Or do you think they're just trying to take the Amumu away from Soviet?
I just can't wait to see. I'm not even going to say anything because the caster curse. I'm going to say something and say they're going to be totally wrong or I'm going to look like a fool. But I do like on the other side the Oriana Sinzao combo. Really great ball delivery system, especially if we get really good support and top lane as well.
Right.
Malphite pick here would be kind of your dream list wombo combo to answer for that cog.
Yeah, I mean,
There's your Yumi.
yeah, we're probably, like I said, so yeah, not a support Amumu this time. Mustard, I'm assuming, just doesn't play Amumu like Soviet, which I did like the idea of the Amumu. There's just really nothing that Kirsten and Sonar could do that game. I mean, they couldn't really get any jungle help with how much Hecarim was dealing with mid top lane, or excuse me, the mid and the Diana jungle. Really tough. I mean, they did their best, but I think the Amumu would be good, especially if they got later in the game where they're not behind. Because when you have the Amumu ult and the Hecarim, that's just so much engage. It's just unfortunate that they weren't able to properly use that. Gale ban's still going to go to Manny. Yon going to be the ban for Volps. So they just don't want to see this man's on anything he plays so far. Get it. But both two support bans coming out for Red. They're not even worried about the top lane, I guess. They're just going to let Techi play whatever. I'm assuming, again, he just gets to play whatever. So
A Talon pick with that hybrid of Kog'Maw and Mumu along with Yumi. There's enough AP where that Talon balances that out, and we'll see what the answer is here for the other side.
yeah, I was about to say Volps loves his assassins.
The Susan.
This is going to be interesting, but the Susan coming from Red, which I mean, I don't need to brag, but the last time we saw Susan in a Team Gap game, I think had about, I don't know, 600 stacks by the end of the game. He was like 9-2.
Yes, there was a point I remember he was at 430 at like that 20 odd minute mark, and it was a nuisance. Usually that 10 stack per minute is your benchmark. But once you're doubling it, you are 3 to 4 shotting tower, and you're 2v1ing all day long. The Blitzcrank coming out, pulling in those people closer.
I do like that. Yeah, I do like the Blitzcrank pick into Yumi because normally in the bot lane, when you're trying to hook your AD carry, sometimes the support's in the way, or like the support's trying to do some shenanigans to prevent you from doing that. He only has one target to grab the Kog'Maw, unless Yumi hops off. But while Yumi's on top of Kog'Maw, he only has one target he needs to pull. And there's not really that much CC that Yumi can do or use outside of her ult that can stop that. Or if Kog'Maw gets pulled. As soon as Kog'Maw gets pulled, with the Caitlyn Blitzcrank, most likely going to die. Even with Yumi's sustain on the Kog'Maw, I like that pick a lot. I think that's going to be a very aggressive bot lane and a very advantageous for Red. I think they definitely need to put a lot of pressure on this bot lane. Probably not going to get a lot out of top lane. I mean, it's Susan Malphite just going to be sitting there pressing Q, farming up. Malphite's probably going to do his best to bully him early, while neither of them have tank stats. But I mean, once again, like I do like the Oriana pick and the control mage, but at Talon pick. Hardcore Parkour probably going to roam, I'm assuming, to this bot lane to assist them. Because they're going to, Amumu, Talon are probably going to be going to bot a lot, I'm assuming. um, to counter this Caitlyn Blitzcrank. This aggressive lane that if Kog'Maw gets super behind, it is super rough for him. Super rough.
Yeah, predictions also available for everyone now. If I made a mistake once, why not make it twice? Throw it again to XRising. I think I've done that every time they played. Regardless of who they're playing, I'm just pushing more money towards them. So if I don't get my money, I know who I'm coming for. I'm
Well,
gonna be Stewie with Brian. Where's my money, bro? Where's my money?
just out of fairness, I'm gonna throw my money on purple. Rylan also being our host, speaking in my ear, telling me to vote for purple. I guess I'll listen to him this time. Um,
Gotta spread the love.
yeah, I gotta even it out. I mean, I lost all my gaps last week. I might as well lose all of them this week too. Why not? It's gonna happen. So
I'm just scared to see Yumi hopping on Talon in that middle part of the game where transitions are happening and you do see, Vision being cleared. You're trying to get, let's say, Vision on Dragon, and here comes Yumi with the Fed Talon and just pop someone within 2 seconds. But on the other side, you let NASA stack. We saw what happened last week. Who do you have answer him? Talon, if you can't burst him, that's you're going to get queued to death. Kog'Maw won't be able to answer unless he can keep him with red buff or something to slow him down too. But if a Fed NASA does happen, it's definitely going to be a big challenge. I'm curious to see now how this
a big challenged.
Jesus Christ.
I had to do it. I gotta have.
I'm walking off of casting right now. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming.
Those freak like dad jokes. You gotta have them. You gotta throw them in. Gitano has since left the building.
Yeah, this one's for you. This beer's for
I had
you.
to do it. I had to do it. But yeah, I mean, unlike last game, Red does have a lot more scaling. They have a lot more late game potential. They don't have to be as aggressive as they were last game, and they leave a little bit less room to make mistakes. So I do like that. I think it's going to be a more even draft. I think it was very one-sided last game. Not one-sided in the fact that one did better than the other. It's just they had different win strategies, and one win strategy to win early was not in Red's favor. So I think if they went even towards the late game, it would still be harder for Red to win. But if they got ahead early, that would have been probably a steamroll the other direction. With a behind Kindred, a behind Kog'Maw, a behind Malphite, there's not a lot of tools for them to get ahead if they're all behind. So it's not like they had one saving grace with the Diana. So it all came down to that early. Those first 10 minutes were essential for Red, and they just weren't able to perform, sadly.
Yeah. And with a Yumi pick, I'm going to try to... All right, sweet. I got him. I got a cat for a cat. This is going to be my Yumi.
It's your Yumi?
This is my Yumi. And we actually named her Jinx, so she is part of the league.
That's right, you did tell community. Me that, and I love that so much.
We'll get more viewers just because it's a cat.
Yeah, I'll get my doggo one of these days. She's probably might be outside my door. Curious.
What? I actually have a girlfriend, and she's looking at me, and she's not pretend.
She's not. She's with other dad for the moment, so...
Perfect. Yeah, I am super excited. I hope this game goes the distance, that 30-40 minute mark. You can
come on, Hercules. Let's go. Go the distance. I'm ready. Yeah, I mean, this definitely wouldn't be the first time Purple has 2-0'd an opponent. I think pretty sure they've done that a lot, which obviously is what gets you to, be almost tied for first place. They're only one point behind Team Green and Red. They win this game, they will be taking first place, I believe. Obviously, Team Green, our game has been postponed to next week. In case anyone was wondering why there's only one game this week, that game will be postponed. Green versus Gray will be postponed to next week. So Fight for first, I would say, will be decided next week. We'll see if Team Green will 2-0 Gray, which I believe will put them 1 point ahead of Purple if they were to 2-0 today. I'd have to do a lot of math to see if one of the teams today 2-1s, but
Math is difficult. Don't even worry about it. That's why we hire people.
I mean, I have a degree in finance. I feel like I should at least be like a little bit good at
Never
math.
mind. Now you don't have an excuse. You should be on that. Where's your
Ex-
Excel document sheet?
I was gonna say Excel does all my work. Like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Worry about it. KF up to here with Talon. He's gonna be roaming around, and Momo's gonna be ulting. You got the Kagma, but on the other side, the Blitz is a little grabby. You get a little bit of a wombo combo. It's gonna be great. My pizza sauce is burning. My meatballs are going. God.
Yeah, I mean, I will say Purple got one of their other comfort picks with the Yumi. You know, Mushroom Cat spams the crap out of it. I mean, she's got cat in her name. It just makes sense. I would play Yumi if that was the case too. Don't get the Kindred, get the Yumi instead. Transcend, who, you know, I believe this is his first game. This is his breakout game. Seems to be playing a lot of Kog'Maw. Seems to be his comfort pick. So we could be seeing that next week. But
Yeah, curious to see. I'm kind of hoping for. I'm expecting the invade from the Blitz. Like when you have a Blitz, you pray to God. It's gonna happen. But we'll see if they try to counter that, get into a bush early, and wait for him and just pounce on him.
yeah, I mean, typically see that pretty often. I will say I don't think there'll be a lot of early game aggression coming from these teams. They seem to all be pretty safe, waiting for 6, waiting for first item. Obviously, outside of the Caitlyn Blitzcrank, I misspoke. Like I said earlier, that's going to be, I said mid lane was going to be the bloodiest. That's where all the kills are going to be. I'm going to call here again. Bot lane is going to be where all the action is. All eyes are going to be on bot lane. We'll see if the Talon's able to roam to counter that aggression. I think that's where Purple can get a huge lead, or like Red tried to do last game, try to do too much and then get punished for it. So in the event Caitlyn and Blitzcrank, are able to kill the Kog'Maw Yumi, that's going to be very good for them to be able to make this a 3-game series. But we are loading into the game. This is going to be, once again, XRising ESports Team Red on the blue side versus Team Purple UWRU Bonk on the red side. How you feeling about, I would say the most important thing right now is the mid game. How do you feel about these teams, when they have that first 5 vs 5 team fight? Because I'm pretty sure that's what both of their team comps are going to be doing. You got the Malphite Umumu on one side, you had the Orianna Zinja on the other side. They both want to engage and team fight the crap out of it, and then also have more of a front to back. So I believe they all have the same style of play. But which one do you think has the upper hand, say hypothetically, if this goes even into the mid game?
If this goes even into the mid game, I'm gonna have to give it probably to Purple. There's just too much of a damage of a wombo combo. You get a Malphite ult into a Yumi ult into a Mumu. There's so much engaged on that side of the map that can make you devastate on a 5v5. We do have a pause, and that'll give me even more time to talk. Perfect. So, on the flip side of that, we also have the Nasus. Xin Zhao gets up there early, gets him ahead a little bit, and now he's running a rampage. You have to pull someone up there, possibly even 2 people, and that destroys your team comp on that other side. You also have blitz pulls. There's never a good time, let's say you pull a Yumi, you pull a Kog, you pull a Talon, you got 3 prime targets that you can disperse, as well as, let's say you hit the Amumu quick, you fire off that ult, not allowing him, to put down his stun for an AoE, and it can hurt, especially Malphite 2 doesn't have that full the full build or being able to tank or can't ult. There's a lot of stuff that could go wrong for them. So it's honestly, it is that 50-50 until we see how this early game plays out. And currently I am frozen still.
Yeah, once again, that's just
Oh,
how
there we
spectating
go.
works.
Back
I know
in.
you're new to the casting game. It's okay, Gitano.
Work,
Typically when
technology, work!
yeah, typically we can't see the last 30 seconds of the game just because that's just how spectating works. With that delay, they don't want to keep it going. And also, after a pause, it wants to freeze up again. Shit happens. Riot, please fix this spectator mode.
It's my
Tired of
first
seeing
time,
it.
be gentle.
It's my first time. Be gentle. Exactly. Come on, Riot. And yeah, like you said, Purple obviously knows that they're going to invade. They have
Late
Blitzcrank,
invade.
so they're ready. They're waiting. If they do end up invading, it will be. Oh, and they're going in. Oh, but Kogma's not there.
Oh no. This is a 3v4 right now. Really good pull with the Malphite, allowing Nasus a little bit more ignite going down as well. Not going to find him. Nasus will have that free farm. Mumu, bandage toss, hitting that blitz, but not pulling a second one. Not sure who I want to favor that trade into. I'm going to go with XRising just because you got the Nasus free farmed a little bit.
And the Malphite, both sums for Malphite, so no longer has the
TP or
TP or the
flash.
flash. Right.
Yes,
So
it's
and
oof.
luckily my client is working this time. I can see things. No more invisible champions for now.
Seeing things are good. That's always a positive.
Yeah, I mean, Malphite has to be aggressive as Nasus. I mean, Nasus does scale a lot more. Obviously, Manny going to be a lot more useful in team fights during that mid game. But this is where, early game Malphite. Once again, I wish you'd have taken Arcane Comet. I don't know why. I mean, Grass probably works a little bit better against Nasus, but Nasus isn't really going to be putting a lot of damage on Manny. So I would have preferred, more of an aggressive summoner. Because I don't think he needs the heals as much. But, I mean, if he's going for constant trades like that, where Techi is, using his Q on the Malphite, then, yeah, I can see it being more. I mean, coming from a one-time, far, far away and a long time ago, I was a Nasus one-trick. And the thing with Nasus is, like...
In a league far, far away.
Yeah, in a league far, far away. Nasus, I mean, he's trading obviously very well for this gank.
Zinzao coming up, even with the ward. I know there's no flash, and I believe they are going to be grabbing first blood. Yes, there that is. Even with the wards, Malphite pre-6. Oh, ooh, Blitzpull almost pulling. It's very difficult. I play a whole bunch of Nasus, so I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, it's just the early game, with your cooldown, your Q being so long, every Q matters. You want to get as much farm as you can early. I mean, obviously you're going to get a lot more late game, with the cooldown is lower, your damage is higher, but every Q matters, and especially, that Q is used to life steal, with his passive. So
Blitzcrank right now, flashing, knock up, and pulling the Caitlyn trap lay down, but Kog'Maw's going to step up instead of back. And right now, Yuumi is setting up Kog in a good way. Caitlyn just about going down, not quite. Moon was still around that area too, in case Blitz and Caitlyn do stay. No summoner spells bot lane besides that Hextech Flash and Ignite. Orianna with being mid, another pull right now. Nothing too much coming up. Kog'Maw getting a couple of shots. Caitlyn going really low. Ooh, one more auto attack would have done it.
yeah, I mean, I believe I said it last game. Kog'Maw does have some early game damage. He's not just a lifeless body ready to farm, but very easy to kill. But also, if he does have that ability to sustain, which is why the Lulu and Yuumi are really good, and he can dish out a lot of damage. I kind of surprised that trade went the way it did, but really good for purple. I mean, they did have a little bit of disadvantage in the top lane, but they didn't. The even bot lane, and now even in CS, in an aggressive lane like this, like that's going even in a lane like this, Kog'Maw's going to win. Kaon has to get ahead to have at least the same impact that Kog'Maw will later in the game.
Yeah, curious also to see what Nasus will go, for when he rates back. Is he going for that cooldown right away? Is he going more for the MR magic? Is he going to go spirit? Or, what's going to be his route to help himself in lane and, for stacking his Q as well?
I mean, I would personally go for an early Merc Treads. Obviously with the slows and the Malphite, you want early tenacity, and you're also getting, the extra MR and movement speed, which is essential for Nasus into this matchup. So I personally go with an early Merc Treads, or a mana item so he can, because Techi right now is using that Q a lot to counter the trades against Manny. So instead of being more of a passive Nasus, he's actually trying to return the trade onto the Malphite. But the thing is, when you Q a lot and you're pressing WE, like that burns a lot of mana. Nasus being a little mana hungry in the beginning of the game, so he's running out of mana fairly quickly. At that point, right now, Techi can't out trade again.
Talon going all in at that Orianna and will end up finding that kill. And curious, it doesn't look like Nasus bot. Oh, he didn't back. Oh, at first I was like, hold on a second, did he back and not buy anything?
He's just shoving the wave in the tower to hopefully deny Manny some minions, but unfortunately for him, that's not the case. We'll see if Manny is able to freeze this at tower. Especially with Malphite, he did get the Bramble, so able to sustain that a lot more.
Well, coming in for Blitzcrank, Exhaust coming out for Caitlyn as well. We're looking for that Kog'Maw, but the minions right now attacking Caitlyn. A lot of damage right there. Kog'Maw might be going down as well. Yuumi trying to hit with those minions. Kog'Maw passive, bursting but not doing or finding too much right there. Talon roaming down, going to be finding Blitzcrank, but not going to be committing to that at all.
Not today, but that trade does go in the favor of purple. Kog'Maw got the kill. Caitlyn only got an assist. They're doing really well in this lane, honestly. A little bit behind in CS, but in a lane like this, that's expected. But actually being able to get kills and being able to outtrade this much, that's pretty crazy for them. Nasus doing neither things, getting a Sheen and Ione boots, so he's going to be going for damage right now.
Sunder right away. He's going for it.
I like it. I like to see, balls of steel coming from Nasus. Soviet roaming right now, trying to keep Cappy alive.
Mumu on the backside. Enzin's also falling on that backside as well. The nice hook by Blitz will be finding that Mumu. A little bit of an overkill on the Orialt, but I'm pretty sure she will be back after that. Kog'Maw and Yuumi, nice pink wards. We see 2 on the map already. Sure, they will be cleared here by Blitz, but a good job of just trying to keep that vision all throughout lane.
Yeah, and that's what I just realized that we hadn't talked about with this Blitzcrank pick into Yuumi. Yuumi is not a roaming support. I've been proven wrong, but it is definitely not something that the champion is known for or something that Yuumi does. Yuumi's just going to sit on this Kog'Maw all game. Soviet not able to do as much in the bot lane as they probably had hoped. So what is he going to do? He's going to roam. Yuumi's not going to outroam him. He's got the speed boost to be able to get to the mid lane, get some vision down while he's over there, and Orianna so far having a tough time into Volps. He got solo killed, so Soviet's just gonna roam mid.
Ness stacks at 162 right now. Ness is not having a lot of mana, and that is going to hurt. Blitzcrank also roaming up, but not the healthiest. He's going to flash out of there and flash for Nasus. They are both hopefully going to be running out of here. Not too much they can do. Meanwhile, this Caitlyn's going to keep on getting poked out, and this is the downside of roaming. Yes, you're going to get those kills. We saw that mid, also looking top as well, but your Caitlyn's falling behind. Caitlyn scales, but not obviously as well as Kog'Maw. Mumu getting caught out solo here, and they will be giving that over to Zen, which is great, but how much do you leave this Kog'Maw and, Yuumi alone for her to free farm? It scares me.
Yeah, 2 kills on Laser so far, so Jungler getting super behind, which is problematic for purple. Red, WG is very comfortable in this Xin Zhao. It's one of his favorite champions. So him being 2-0-1 at this moment, 16 CS up is very good for purple.
Eleanor coming out, trying to find that Zinzao ulting, trying to back him up. Orianna still within range. You do see the hop over Blitzcrank, trying to do a pull out of nowhere, but Orianna will be finding the kill. Ball on Blitz, trying to give him that little bit of extra passive. Hitting that W, giving that speed boost, and he will be out of there. A nice Rift Herald coming down as well. Will probably be grabbing some plates over here for Orianna. Really, really good sequence
I will
of a
say,
fight there.
unfortunate for Red. 3 of the 5 kills this game have gone to Soviet on the Blitzcrank. So, I mean, he'll get his Mythic pretty early, but Orianna and Xin Zhao have 2 assists right now. You would love to see those kills on them. I mean, it's kind of hard for Blitzcrank with the passive sometimes. And, sometimes your E does more damage than you expect it to. But yeah, no, Soviet's got 3 of the 5 kills right now. So the leader of the game in kills is currently the support Blitzcrank. So we'll see what Red is able to do with that. Volp's still being super aggressive on this Talon.
Having said that, he is doing the right thing, though. He is not just, using his advantage only to himself. He is roaming and doing a really nice job. You see a fed Blitzcrank coming at you, too. He's going to be tanky. He's going to be fast. He's going to charge at you without mercy. So there is definitely an upside for it. But like you said, you would like to see those, kills going over to someone else. It could be a lot worse, but also could be better.
TP is down for the Nasus, so I believe Purple does have Dragon priority right now. And Red sees this. They saw the Malphite TP. They know it's a 5-4. They don't know where Talon is, and, who can hardcore parkour, come at you from any angle. So they're probably just going to give this one up.
Give it up. You're 4v5. You don't want to give up this, and then either give up a tower on the back end of it. A lot of teams I see, when I'm solo queuing, you try to fight those. You try to make the hero plays, and that's where that scale tips even further. Yes, you can make a great play, but is it worth it on the back end? So it's nice to see that, a nice pace of themselves being able to be like, okay, we'll forgive this dragon. It's only one. We'll look for the next one. And Ocean for the soul. That I believe will go a little bit better here on XRising. Nice pull here. Yumiel coming out as well, firing off of that Blitzcrank, and Kog'Maw going super low. Does get behind the Caitlyn shot. Yumi not quite getting in the way of that. Amumu was down there, but was not able to join the fight. Really good sequence there, and trades by Kate and Blitz. This Nasus is going to
let me check. Let me quickly check his stacks. So Techi is currently at 264 stacks. That is not something you want to see. Manny not really able to do anything against him. He is 30 CS up on this Malphite currently. Obviously the Sheen and the Ionu boots. As much as I expected to see, Merc Treads, going for the safer buy. When you go for that cooldown reduction and the empowered damage on basic attacks, like those Qs hurt, and now he can use more of them with that CDR ability haste. So he's got more Qs early in the game. He's gonna get more stacks. So
Eddie's grabbing blue buff. Love to see this. More cooldowns, more mana. They are gonna stick a lot of resources, hopefully, into this Nasus and watch him cause a muck and a menace. All the other lanes too are doing really, really well of just staying healthy, staying survival. You see bot lane, 1 death each. For the 80 carries, and this is the game that we are, kind of expecting, where it's a nice, peaceful game. Blitz trying to get hooked, does find Talon, pops him up, does have that ult, nice Orianna ult, also trying to get in there. Yumi keeping Talon alive for now, goes back in, gets that kill. Mumu, 2 kills for Orianna, great use of the shockwave right there, and, keeping everyone alive. Yumi just about had a save, but unfortunately, the extended fight goes the other way.
Yeah, I think it was definitely not in Purple's best interest to go back into that fight. Xin Zhao finishing his Hex Drinker. He has that Mythic completed.
Oh, and here we go again. We have minions unfortunately able to take out Blitz. But like I stated earlier, you have a Blitz that's right around Fed. If you see him, it's too late, and he will find you.
Yeah, and like I was saying, like they don't have completed items on the side of purple. Three mythics completed for the side of red, so they have gotten that huge power spike, and they're definitely trying to use that. I'm sure Nasus could afford it, but he just doesn't want to leave this lane. Taking the blue buff so he just doesn't have to.
I
He can
saw a
sit in his
Malphite Q
lane.
happen, and it gave him less than 100 health. It hit him 4. So this Malphite is literally throwing marshmallows at Nasus.
This is yeah. I think this is like I said, swinging back into Red's favor. Could be seeing a Game 3 series. Red's mental reset. I love to see it coming back and giving Purple a taste of their own medicine. Um, love to see it. They did try. Purple did try to do as much as they could. Volp's playing super aggressive on this Talon. Problem with that is Soviet Snipes roams. He's all over this map and just letting Curse just sit on the Caitlyn and just farm up. Not really needing to fight the Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw's still probably able to 2v1 or excuse me 1v1. Unfortunately for the Caitlyn, but I mean Caitlyn's back into Curse back up to even CS.
Mumu just not quite taking enough, and a pull does mean a death, unfortunately. Talon trying to get back in there, but will not happen. They do have a pincer on each side, but it's almost a guaranteed death unless they do take down one person. Nas is grabbing that Rift Herald, and that's going to be even scarier. And that Caitlyn range does allow her to go trade even with Cog. I do believe Cog does come out a little bit of ahead with the W range and whatnot, but as long as Caitlyn doesn't die, I see this as a complete win.
Yeah, I don't. I think Purple need to slow this game down. They did not need to. Once again, they did not need to go for that play. They're trying to overreach and be too greedy, and not even really greedy, just arrogant. Like they're so behind that they tried to take that fight with not even all their members there. The Malphite wasn't there. That was a
Nath
four
is
versus three
400 stacks.
against a team that's 6K gold ahead of you. We're at 6K gold difference, and we're not even at 20 minutes.
Yeah, the full wombo combo coming out for Malphite. Taking Nass is pretty low, but unfortunately, the sustain, keeping that ult just, until the very end of it. Rift Herald smashing down that tower. Unfortunately, this is a position you do not want to be in at all.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about, hypothetically, if there was a super fed Nasus, what are they going to do about it? We're about to see.
So Talon coming in trying to make a statement, but unfortunately Nasus Q saying otherwise. Oriana, nice job of speeding that up. And Mumu ult to disengage. Talon trying to slow that down, but unfortunately with Wither, you might as well be walking backwards. Another +6. Oh, this is getting out of hand. I can't wait for him to come back. I'm pretty sure. Well, we see 350 gold, 150 gold, 350 gold, the top half of this team now, getting those bounties, and it's going to be more and more difficult here, unfortunately, for Manny squad.
And Soviet hasn't taken any more kills. All these kills going to the carries. And Nasus, no mana and still unafraid. Manny, full health, full mana. His ultimate's coming off cooldown, and he has to back off. Even though Techi's super extended, only has that ward in the Tribrush and that top side of the red jungle. So I mean, he had vision, but very cocky on his part.
Frozen Heart being complete as well.
Kane. Oh yeah, the Frozen Heart. That's just gonna be another rough game. But instead for the side of Purple. Still, they can still come back. Kog'Maw still scales. They still have the team fight.
Alan trying to get for a little bit of cheekier, trying to steal blue. Definitely able to hardcore parkour over everything, but unfortunately not able to find anything. We were, at least I was off camera for that kill. Directed camera did not bring me over. Looks like a kill for Zen. That was a good shutdown. And Dragon here, we got 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes for that, so nothing too much. Tower going down. Not too much on the map though.
And like you said, the shutdown going over the Kog'Maw, really great. I mean, Kog'Maw is their saving grace. Probably going to be a majority of their damage coming from this team, with Talon being behind. So they're going to have to definitely be putting a lot of pressure on this Kog'Maw. I mean, if Sonar, Soviet is able to get a pull onto Kog'Maw, the fight's over. Also, Nasus, I mean, even if, Mustard's able to CC him or, put the ult on him and heal Kog'Maw, at this point, I think he's almost at 500 stacks. He's at 525 stacks. He's
Evil
going to
3-shot him.
the Kog'Maw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, through the Yuumi heals and the exhausts, 3 to 4 shots, and that's 2 seconds in between each auto attack, plus your entire team there as well. Looks like they are staying up at the bay for the topside Talon. Unfortunately, getting the stick. Nasus getting the carrot here. Malphite trying to run away, and Nasus was looking to tower dive. That tower's not going to do as much damage as it should with that Frozen Heart complete. Ultimate coming out, and that will be a shutdown for Mumu, which is great. But on the back end, how much are they going to lose? Blitzcrank trying to take up as much as he can. Does get the pull. Unfortunately, Zid will be on the backside of that, also grabbing the double kill with no objectives up too. They can just walk away. Nasus, kind of doing the flex right there, kind of paying the ultimate price for it. That does go back on a Mumu, but I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here. Kog'Maw trying to look for this. Orianna going back a little bit and forth. Able to 2v1. Very nice usage right there. Talon trying to look for something. Might be diving in. Will say no thank you and goes back, and we got 40 seconds for Dragon.
Yeah, I do like seeing Cappy on this control mage. Just kind of being a rock for the team right now. So much with the ball. Talon wants to go in, but once he's slowed by the Orianna, not really much he can do. I think Curse and Cappy have just been kind of pretty much just chilling this whole game and letting WG just kind of be the aggressive Zinja he wants to be, and then just essentially just falling up when they can. Also, I just realized Bandershots doesn't do any damage, so Blitzcrank was executed on that tower. So 1 versus 1 in that top lane, nothing coming out mid, and now we got to fight in the river.
Really nice by Orianna there to pick up the ult. We do have a 4v3. Bandage tosses coming out, not quite finding anything right now. We still have the Orianna ult is down, the Caitlyn ult is up. Malphite also looking for some juicy targets right now. We might be seeing a fight. Nasus TPing on the backside here, and he's going to be the focus of the fight. Exhaust going down, a Mumu trying to get out of there, and unfortunately, Kog'Maw's going to be going down, followed by the rest of the team. Malphite going down. Yumi's trying to get a Mumu out of there. Unfortunately, that is a sad mummy with a sad kitty. And Dragon will be going over here. Next time will be Soul Point.
Dog versus cat. Who will win?
This time the dog.
So we just answered that question. Yeah, I don't foresee. So, I mean, it was the Kindred in the first game, with the stacks, with the Kindred marks. Now it's the Nasus with the empowered Q stacks. He just does so much damage now. And the thing is, Purple is so behind that they don't have any ability to sustain or tank any of the damage coming out from Red. They have, I believe, an item completed on each member. Each member of the side of Red, outside of the 80 carries, has another item over their counterparts, outside the bot lane, actually. But, yeah, extra complete item for both top, jungle, and mid. That's where that 10k gold is. So, going to be super rough for them. They're going to be at a disadvantage every fight. And this isn't really a team that can get picks outside of maybe the Talon picking out the Orianna or the Caitlyn. But I think right now, Red will most likely be 5-manning for Baron for these objectives for Vision. So it's it's going to be very tough for Red right now.
Nice shockwave there, setting up the Talon. Yumiel coming down, Blitzcrank unfortunately getting the lick of it. Kog'Maw getting slowed down and flash used by Orion to get out of there. Nasus kind of clearing around Vision, and I'm hoping they send Nasus to your bot lane. Make sure that they send, 2 or 3 people after you, and then look for Baron on the backside after that.
Yeah, they could send Oriana or Nasus, both having the teleport up, but I mean, it's a 5 vs 4 for 15 seconds. This team can just burn down this Baron, but instead just going for the fight.
Zinzao going in with the ball on him. Unfortunately, Shockwave not available. A lot of damage going out, but unfortunately, Zinzao not able to tank up everyone. To move on the backside of that will be fallen as well. Malphite trying to run around here with the ult. Might be looking for something. Nasus will be withering Kog'Maw, letting him run away for the moment time. We do have Talon back up as well. Yuumi trying to hop back and get everyone healed up. Might be another fight here. Blitzcrank trying to look for a target. Does find the Talon, pop him up. Silence, nice ult. The Oriana ult, not trying to find someone. We do have Malphite with double ult, and before Talon can hardcore parkour over, he does get Nasus queued. Triple kill by Nasus. Here we go. This is what you want to see. That tower is going to be taken down. Flash out used by Kog'Maw. One shot. There goes 3/4 of the health, and 2 shots for the quadra kill. Might be looking for the penta as well. Tower range just crazy long. Caitlyn range right there. Would have loved to see the penta. He had to go for it. No shame in that.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a Nasus penta in my time of playing. Maybe once. So that would have been something spectacular. Yeah, we expect it for someone like the Talon or the Oriana or even the Kog'Maw. Like that, those are champions I would expect a penta for if there is one. But a Nasus, that would be something for the history books. But
you line them up like
the
sand people,
sadly.
one by one.
Yeah, I mean, Transcend doing his best. He put so many auto attacks into that Nasus and still not able to do anything. Has the Sunder, has the Spirit of Visage, has the Frozen Heart. He's tanky. I mean, Kog'Maw has the Shield Bow and Blade of the Rune King, but mostly got Lifesteal. But Lifesteal's not going to save you from the Kayn just smacking the crap out of you. 221 CS on this Nasus. I mean, if this game goes on any longer, man's going to hit 1,000 stacks, I'm sure. Already at 700.
Yeah, at this point, too, he will be, I think, 5 or 6 shotting towers. So if you leave him alone for a minute, he will be taking your entire base.
Yeah,
Dragging up in 30 seconds as well. Oh,
they have him
fights are going
alone
to be
right now.
happening.
Yeah, it's TP. Yep. Fights are going to be tough. They do have the wards for him to TP. There is that deep ward in the blue side jungle.
Oriana Shockwave coming out. Blitz trying to find someone. Zinzao also trying to pull out the stops before the dragon hits. Not quite finding anyone. Zinzao now going in Yuumi ult. Trying to find someone, locking up the front 2 of the line. TP coming in from Malphite right here. Blitzcrank popping up that Kog'Maw was in the front line. Malphite ult popping up. We got Caitlyn and a lot of people right now. Nasus on the backside. There is your triple kill for him. Nice job trying to find that Talon for that ace. Won't be having, unfortunately, even with the speed of the ball. This is going to be a couple of dead towers here.
I mean, honestly, they have 20 seconds on most of the members of Purple. So yeah, probably not going to be the game, but definitely going to be some dead towers. Going to be a dead inhib. They are going to respect the side of Purple and not take the inhib. And instead going to clear vision, get some priority on this Baron. 12,000 gold lead, 5 towers that they just got Soul. Yes, Purple had to do that. They had to fight for Soul. Giving an Ocean Soul to Nasus and Zinzao is not something you want to do. This Nasus is just unkillable. I'm sorry, he's just not going to die. I think his 2 deaths, that's going to be it. I honestly think he could maybe even 5-man if the cooldowns are not in the favor of Purple.
If he has the Shurelias, definitely yes. Talon getting caught out right there. This Blitzcrank is doing a great job just picking apart this team. Malphite also standing there a little bit too long, and with that ball and rundown power, you got the dog. He should have a caution sign right now. He should be boarded up. It's like the Sandlot. Your scary dog on the other side and willing to bite you down in just two gobbles. I'm hoping that they push here for the end. No need to go for Baron. They have enough damage. This could be GG.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Nasus just did like 25% of that inhib with one cane smack. Uh, looking forward to seeing what he does to this tower. Oh, my
That was
lord.
about half right there. Fortunately, Copper getting pulled in. Nice Orion ult. Um, great game here. Nasus just gain head and as well as Blitz. Nice roams. Gain those pulls. Malphite tried his hard. There was a whole bunch of really good ults, but a really solid side. Quadra kill. Oh, two quadras in a game. Great job. Great job.
Yeah, excellent game from Red. The mental reset always works when you play like that. That definitely was a morale switch for them. Super happy for that. And we get a 3-game series. Love to see it. I'm so excited for it. Silver Scrapes will be playing, if we're allowed to say that. But yeah. Do you still have the game up? I'd meant to look at the damage from the Nasus. I'm actually curious.
Yes, give me one moment here and I can grab that. Nope. I thought I had it pulled up. Unfortunately, I did not, but I can only imagine that was a lot. Everyone else, yeah. Wow.
So I've
So
just been informed that Cappy actually did the most damage. 20,000 damage on the Oriana, but 23,000 damage on that Nasus. So, that hurts. That hurts. So 3-game series. Honestly, just stomps on either side. That is not something I expected from these teams. I expected it to be a lot closer. It is a close series, but I expected these games to be a lot closer. So, not that I'm complaining. I love seeing fun games like this and, teeter-totter, if I may say. But what do you think we're going to see in Game 3? Both teams now have a strong showing, so I feel like either side now has something they don't want to play against.
yeah, it's definitely both up in the air. There's no clear defined winner, as we just saw, and you said too, the teeter totter. Both teams having their upswings and downswings. So I'm hoping that they continue this progression of. I'm hoping Game 3 is one of those where it's a neutral, where we see both teams scale. It's 20, 30 minutes, and that's when we start seeing our big team fights. But you never know because bans as well. It's when you have so many people that you have to ban, and so many people have these good champs that they can carry on. Something's going to slip through the cracks, and then you have to figure out what's our counter, where's our priority. It's going to get very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. And predictions. Let's see.
I'm back in the money. So much.
Yeah,
money.
that was a 1-9 payout for you there, bud. Aster Curse has not left me.
I'm buying a car. You're gonna be okay. I can throw you, a couple of hundred right now. It'll be my payoff.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
You can come live in my mansion if you want.
The funny thing is, I'm supposed to go to Shreveport on Tuesday, and possibly hit the casinos. So this luck is not looking good for me. So probably gonna have to come back with this game. I'll have to see the draft, of course, but both teams playing super well today. I'm probably losing some more gaps today. All 200 that I've left.
want to see
I
another
think,
Nasus game. I really do. And I feel like they're not going to ban it out. They'll just pick something to counter, that or wait till kind of the later pick to see what's going on.
yeah, and I did like his early aggression on the Malphite. Those early trades don't always happen on Anasis. Usually you're kind of just chilling early game, trying to get those stacks going. But they got Manny to have health, and then the Hecarim came in and got first blood, denying Volps the first blood, which I think would have been a little bit more beneficial. Obviously, having that Talon with that extra gold. Volps getting a solo kill both games, very well done by him. His kryptonite though was Soviet on the Blitzcrank, who had I don't know what he did, but Soviet has a personal vendetta against Volps. I think he pulled him at least like 9 times that game.
Yeah, it was just a grab fest, and not in the great way either.
Oh,
It was as you know, I know right away I stated, if you're gonna roam, you have to make sure your AD carry's okay and that you're getting those results, and he got plenty of them. There was a point where he was, 3, 1, and 5. He had the Shrelias, he had the Moby boots, and a really good job from jungle and mid to kind of roaming around with him as well, and just the whole team was there when they locked onto a person. They had the backup, they had the vision, they rotated really well. There wasn't a point where I felt like they lost control of that game.
yeah, and I think that we're never going to see the Kindred again. I think now we're not going to see the Nasus again. Maybe even the Oriana. They did ban out the Kale. They banned out or excuse me, they banned out the Aurelia and the Vladimir that Red plays a lot. They're going to have to pick something now. Unless they just have a better answer to the Nasus. Let's see. I believe so. Purple will be going red side again. So red hates me. They're going blue side just to confuse me.
Just to mess you up again.
Whatever. Hate it here. Yeah. Draft should be starting shortly. I believe we're just getting everyone into the lobby, but
You're gonna have to give me 2 minutes. I gotta take this dog outside quick.
the dog and the cat. You give me 2 minutes?
All out.
All right. Well, chat. What are your thoughts on the game? The chat's been kind of slow tonight. What are y'all feeling? Now instead of talking to him, I get to talk to y'all. So
Well, I can talk to you.
throw some predictions into the game, or excuse me, into the chat. Let me know what you think about games 1 and 2, what you want to see in game 3. But hell of a series, like we thought. We know where these teams are in the standings. They are red being tied for first. Technically, even though green won the series against them, so I guess they broke the tiebreaker. So red in second, purple in third. Out of the 8 teams. So we expected a banger. We got a banger. Still waiting on draft to start. Thankfully, since Gitano is not here yet. But yeah, I want to see the best champions come out right now. What pocket picks do these players have? One might see in playoffs, but one that they've probably been practicing and that they're saving for playoffs. It's now or never. You're playing for seeding at this point. Unless in the event that green takes first, then these teams are now probably going to be fighting for first if green were to drop out of the standings next week, if they were to lose to gray. So potentially fighting for first, but they are fighting for, if they stay second and third, once again, fighting for who gets to pick the first side in that first game of playoffs. Yeah, Gitano, good to have you back.
I know you miss me.
Yeah, so much. We should be starting.
I did hear about your pocket picks too. I'd love to see something out of left field that you somebody kind of
Oh,
has
not
in
my
their
pocket
arsenal.
picks. Their pocket
No, but
picks.
I mean, like, I would like to see someone just, pull like a Lowy mid out of nowhere, or something crazy.
Absolutely. Um, I mean, I believe that something like the Amumu or like something just out of the box, Mumu support. Didn't expect it. It didn't work out in the first game, but I think there were some possibilities. But we are going into draft. XRising obviously losing that first ban for an emergency substitute. So same side as last game. So XRising does have first pick this time. We'll see if they first pick the Xin again. If it does go through, just kidding, not going to happen. Uh, Purple reading my mind. We'll see if they ban the Nessus again. Red continuing to ban that Nocturne. Don't want to see Laser playing that. So, I mean, they're either going to ban Yumi or they're going to ban Kindred. Calling it now. I mean, you just have to. Although I don't think Mustard had as much of an impact on the Yumi this game as obviously she did 2 weeks ago. But
NASA's
I mean,
band coming out and Kindred as well, as you said. The Yumi did, I feel, really well. The plays I saw, the ults, the exhaust. It was just the fact that the team fell too far behind in order for her to, out heal and sustain and really support the team.
yeah. I mean, they'll most likely be picking the uh, Lulu Kog'Maw again. Probably, going to be a comfort pick for them. Kog'Maw obviously playing great both games. I mean, Kog'Maw was the saving grace. Just only so much you can do against a 700 sec Nasus. So, what are
Yeah,
you going to
two
do?
shotting. Oh, that was kind of disgusting.
That was pretty gross. But not going to be in it this game. Wookie is here in the chat, the draft coach for Team Purple. Yeah, I mean, Wookie, we'll hope your team does well. I'm rooting for neither team because I suck at picking. Uh, it's fine. I'll just say which comp I like the best, and just like cover up the nameplates. That'll probably work better. But your really pick does come from Red, which has been banned the past two games. So I don't know if you're familiar. I forget if that is going to be a Cappy Aurelia or a Techi Aurelia.
I mean, it could go both. I think we probably that Caitlyn ban should have been the Aurelia one. Caitlyn is a great champion, but on the Aurelia, it's a flex. It's very, for those who know how to play it, it's very broke. And it's one of those two that can dominate lane, dominate game. And there's just a lot of versatility with her.
Yeah, and they could have left the Caitlyn up and picked the Kog'Maw because I mean they were winning trades. Kog'Maw Yumi into Blitzcrank Caitlyn, so they know that they can beat the Caitlyn. So like maybe should have left it up and like you said, ban the Aurelia. And now that they have to ban the Xin Nasus, the bans from the first draft, that was those three picks outside of the Jin. Excuse me. It was Vladimir, Aurelia, and Xin Zhao were the first bans of the first game. They just got Aurelia Vladimir. So, I mean, Purple knows their comfort picks, so now they have them. Manny, once again, on the Malphite, and Transcended, excuse me, is going to be on the Ash again. So we're going to see that. Don't think they got much out of it on the Malphite this series, so we'll see if they're able to improve. And Graves coming out, I'm assuming, for Laser.
Yeah. The Malphite, like you just stated, wasn't a huge corner piece, but it's also something too where you need to have the follow up and you need to be able to win lane. So if you do have that Malphite, send the resources top, get him ahead side. Because even a tank Malphite with the base damage of everything can, clearly dominate a lane. And then when it gets to that team fight, you're that literally unstoppable force on top of your ults as well. So it's just, is Purple gonna bring out the Orion? Are they gonna bring out an Azir? Are they gonna bring, a Nivea? Are they gonna have those champions that can wombo combo with the Malphite? because this looks like it's going to be a battle royale between the two. Vlad wanting to go deep, AoE damage, Jhin being able to lock people up, Aurelia as well for that. So it'll be interesting to see how they round out the comps, and then also early game two. That's kind of been the dictation of this entire team for both sides. If you do get that lead, you're slowly pushing it, pressing it, and boa constrictoring the other side and hindering them from getting those resources, vision, major objectives, and it just, slowly starts tilting those scales.
Yeah, and WG, I always want to say his full name. It's like 9 W's and 4 G's. Just call him WG, but not. He's gonna have to go deep in his champion pool now. He's really not that deep, but his two favorite junglers banned out, Zinjar and the Hecarim. So we are gonna see a different champion come out from him. Playing a different champion every game this series. So that's, if he does well at this game, that'll look really good for him. But he's going to have to pick something else, so we'll see what they do end up picking out. And we'll see where Purple is going to put their counter pick, which they are going to put it on Volps, who obviously had a strong showing in the first game. Tried to do his best the second game, but just couldn't do anything about Soviet, who had his number. So Morgana coming out, they don't want to see, in case the Blitzcrank comes out, in case, like a Thresh comes out, they have an answer for that. Ashe Morgana, I mean, that's a very large amount of CC and, height that they have, into a very immobile ADC that is Jhin, and then, able to prevent the Aurelia from, getting to your team, and now Shyvana, who also wants to jump into your team. So
The last time I casted, the AP Shyvana was just crazy. I mean, that was worse than the Nasus, queue with stacks. It was very disgusting. Not too much hard engage coming in from XRising, except for that Thresh hook being landed, but everyone can definitely dogpile on top as soon as they do find that Jhin as well, being able to lock down that person. But this is a definitely heavy team fight for both sides. I'm curious to see what this mid will be picked over here for Purple to round. Did I just get looped? Is that Graves mid? Is that what I'm going to be seeing?
Oh, interesting. So it is a Graves mid into Vladimir, which I feel like is going to be more favored for Graves in the early lane. While Vlad has that long cooldown on his Q, Graves probably going to be playing aggressive into that. And he's going to be having a tough time in the top lane. Ashe Morgana probably going to be having probably even lane. Ashe Morgana probably going to be kind of chilling against Jhin Thresh. I don't think either one has like a strong, I guess, like advantage over the other. So I think like the first game, this is going to be a very bloody mid lane. Bulb's a very aggressive mid laner. He's gonna be playing aggressive. And now you have that Shyvana, level 6. If Graves overextends, Shyvana can get there real quick, and that can be very problematic. Graves only having, that one dash where, Vladimir can just pull and dodge everything that, Skarner would be able to try to get him. So if it does go 2v2 in the mid lane, I have to give it to Vladimir Shyvana, honestly. If Graves were to overextend like he did in that last game, which is what killed him most of the time last game, was Volps overextending and then eating a blitz took. Died to it every time. So I think he really needs to work on controlling the greed and being too over-aggressive when you're not as ahead as you were in the first game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the Graves into the Vlad. Vlad definitely with that super sustain early, and definitely Shyvana is around. Shyvana tends to farm pretty heavily for that first 10-15 minutes, but as soon as that happens, she is a force to be reckoned with. Skarner is going to have a tough time too. Even top lane, just Aurelia being able to either jump out, alt the Skarner, being able to E, and then bot lane you do have a nice lantern to get people out. So it's going to be a tough time, but if they do capture someone with that Skarner, they definitely have that dog pile with the Morgana, with the Ashe ult, with the Malphite. There's so many things that can go wrong, for XRising if they do get caught out.
Well, predictions are up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be a betting man, so I went with the majority of the first two games. I'm gonna go against the grain, and I'm gonna put all 300 points I have left
Whoa.
on Team Red. Because the thing is, I'm pretty
300?
sure,
Are you sure you want to bet your entire life savings here?
right? To be fair, I'm pretty sure every single one of these champions for Red is their comfort pick.
Yes.
This is champions they play a lot. They love to play. Soviet's known for his thresh. Like, I mean, and I agree. I don't like Purple's comp. They don't have damage. I mean, because like Ash is not like the most well-known DPS champion. Graves when he's ahead, yes, but I don't think he has that consistent damage. And then Morgana, Malphite, Skarner. I'm sorry, like when you're going against an AP Shyvana, Jhin, and Aurelia, how are you going to outdamage that team? Let's be real.
The power of friendship will not
According
save
to
you.
Ryline, yeah, in case y'all forget, Ryline is whispering into our ear about his team. Evidently, Purple's going to win with the power of friendship. So, uh, at so right now it's what is it? 72% to 20% damage in favor of Purple.
I
That
can't wait to be sitting on 10K for monies right now. I'm gonna be buying out Riot, at this point. 10
that's
sec
like
is mine.
so I guess that 44% difference in uh favor of Purple is literally just pure unadulterated friendship. That's all it
Uh,
is.
you just touched on the damage. I see Malphite going in, but once again, where is the Wombo on top of it? You don't have the Yasuo, you don't have the Ori, you don't have those champions that have giant AoE burst with him. Yes, Ash has really good sustain. You can, kite people out and, you can kind of self peel, but on the opposite side, like you also did mention too, there's a whole bunch of comfort picks. There's burst. There's, I do like XRising, just for the team comp, but it's all depends on how that early game goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just the thing. Like, if this Graves doesn't get ahead, then because or the Ash on the other side. If either of them two do not get ahead early in the game, which I don't even think they have that many tools to do that. Skarner really needing that 6, Malphite really needing that 6. I mean, Thresh probably going to be able to deny most of what. I mean, they're probably not going to play super aggressive. So, I mean, unless there's just some miraculous team fight that happens, 10 minutes of the game, I don't foresee Purple doing super well early. And I don't think they scale as nearly as well as Red. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to give it to Red. This is probably the first. A little bit last game, but definitely this game is a bit of a draft diff, in my personal opinion. Because they did the exact thing last game. Two 80 champions, with the Talon and the Kog'Maw. If one of them gets behind, like the Talon did, it got very behind in the early game last game. Everything's on Kog'Maw, but the thing is, Kog'Maw just takes so long to ramp up. By the time he's actually useful, if your team is just super behind, you're trying to climb a mountain with 60 pounds of weight on your shoulder. Like,
Yeah,
it's just not going to happen. Just hate to see it. We'll see if Purple can prove me wrong. I can always be proven wrong. Cast a curse. It happens. And while
too
we
much
wait on this,
risk, 9F reward, unfortunately. And that's kind of like you just stated too. Those previous two games, yes, you can be, pull belted way ahead, but also if you don't get that lead, you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be nice and squishy for the enemy team. So we'll
nice
see
and
if there's a
squishy.
level 1 engage, because the Morgana bind, when you do get hit, you get checked for being AFK pretty much.
Yeah, and you left me for 2 minutes earlier, so I'm gonna do the same.
Oh
2
boy.
minutes waiting on the spectator delay, so I will be right back before Game 3 starts.
And now I'll make everyone's ears bleed and I'll start singing again. No, I will not be doing that again. Oh, I was singing before the casting even came on. It was great, but just like everyone else, I can sing in the shower alone, in front of the host, but not in front of a crowd, unfortunately. We don't want everyone to have to get their ears bleeding, and all you can hear for 3 days is that high pitch of, and you're there. We go. If we get that, I will create my own singing in between. That'll be what we'll be listening to. You won't even need cool background music. I'll do my own beatboxing. And yes, I did see the cute pic of you two, Wookie. I was kind of disappointed that I was not invited. You know, if no, I will be actually in Florida here, on the 24th. Yes, in Orlando. Okay, like honestly, I will definitely take a day out and spend time. Can they hear, or are they just hearing my conversation and only me talk? Oh, this is great. You guys are gonna think I'm crazy. I have a great host in my ear, but I'm just gonna be Tyler Durden over here and talking to myself while Fight Club's going on, and I'm looking crazy. This is not good. So, we'll say this is sponsored by Butterfingers because that's the only candy I could find, to myself. So grab yourself a Butterfingers if you can. If not, go to your nearest convenience store in the next 3 minutes and then come back. But
Butterfingers is one of my favorite candies, to be
yeah,
fair.
it's really good.
Yeah, but we are loading into game right now. Game 3 of the series. Team Purple, UWRU Bonk versus XRising ESports Team Red. The fight for seeding at the moment for these top 4 teams. I believe the seeding is, or the playoffs are locked. Ryan, feel free to correct me on the amount of points needed to catch up, but I believe we have our top 4 teams locked with green, red, purple, and gray. Yeah, feel free to correct me, Ryan and Stats team, but yeah, getting underway, playing for seeding. Second to last week of the split. Feels like it flew by. We're on our last week of Team Gapalol Silver regular season next week. Gonna be interesting. Unfortunately, after playoffs, I will be exiting the role of the player and fulfilling my destiny of maintaining just being a caster. So you will be seeing me in future Team Gap series, but you'll see me play next week and for playoffs, and then never see me behind the keyboard or excuse me, the player desk ever again. So,
Unless we do drunk ARAMs after the casting, which we've been known to do, which I think we should also stream.
I wouldn't be upset about that. Got to keep it real for the homies.
Late invade here. And unfortunately, I'm curious if they're going to find Jin or not. He's safe in the bush.
He spots him out, but it looks like they're just going to take this. I mean, they got the Skarner Pillar. Probably the only reason they went there, obviously. Yeah, no, they're definitely stealing that. Aurelia looks like going to... Techi's going to leash for Shyvana and Blue. But WG's going back in. They're trying to fight for this.
This is great. They're trying to back off, but they're not quite sure. I'm wondering about the calls right now. Red buff does get smited away. Level 2, Shyvana, first blood. You hate to see it, and that is going to be a tilter, literally and figuratively, for that.
Hey, I said it game 1. Invades, they can go well, but you risk a lot if they don't. Laser now losing, losing that tempo, we talked about. and also giving first blood to actually, where did the first blood go to? To the Shyvana, who's like we've seen in the past. This is going to be an AP Shyvana, so this isn't tanky tank, regular Shyvana or attack speed Shyvana. This is I'm going to throw an E at you and do half your HP Shyvana, who now has first blood and is already soon to be 3 camps ahead on this Garner.
I love seeing this. I love it, and I'm really hoping that people, I need to say, because it goes for a really good action when you do have the invades, when you do have the like early fights, but it honestly can lose you the game. Like it's just one bad thing that can tilt you. Unfortunately, Morgana do finding that Thresh going down quite a bit. Jin trade back nicely right there. Aurelia pushing a little bit of advantage for the top side of Malphite, and she is going to be hurting as well. We'll see if Skarner tries to get up there shortly.
Yeah, I mean, Purple just didn't have the damage to have a successful invade, in my opinion. I think they just expected WG to, they didn't see the Shyvana on their initial invade. But I think they just assumed the Shyvana was just going to go to their blue, but instead they're going to take the fight and lose. Yeah, really unfortunate for them, and they just caught it again.
Unfortunately, getting the short on the stick right there, Shyvana will be handed over the kill as well, and definitely with those souls too, collecting 2 quick ones. This is about the worst case scenario you would want to see for Skarner. You're behind on camps. Your ganking is going to be lackluster right now. You have to catch up. Shyvana is going to be free farming, in your jungle as well, and there's not much you can do about it. This is one of those games where you have to hold the brakes as much as you can here, for Purple, and just kind of hold off for a good, 5-10 minutes and get yourself caught back up.
And like you said, Vlad, able to have that sustain, probably gonna do a little bit better in the lane early. He's up now 8 CS, but was up 12 CS. When I started that point, but this Vlad just able to just farm, sustain. Graves running out of mana, something that does not exist for Vladimir. So gonna be able to stay in the lane longer. Probably gonna have to force a recall from the Graves. He's not going to be able to trade, once he runs out of mana. So, yep, there's that early recall. Vlad going to get more ahead.
Ignite going down on Thresh, the Lantern coming out, Ashe flashing forward to try to get that kill. Does survive. There's a Predator by Skarner. A little bit of slows coming out from Ashe. A great hook by Thresh trying to get that Skarner caught out. They will be walking away. Unfortunately, a TP coming out as well as Shyvana on the backside there. Kill going down from Aurelia, looking for that double here. In Ashe being healed, and Jin taking that over. A lot of good kills right now being spread. Really good TP usage as well. Yes, Malphite on the back end of that does get free farm, but I mean, you just got a fresh kill. You saved your bot lane, and it looks like a dragon right now, and that will set them up.
I will definitely. Good. Oh, excuse me, Gitano, but I would definitely trade a double kill bot lane in a dragon for
sure
some CS for the Malphite.
For sure.
Because, Aurelia, one of those snowballing champions. Shyvana going to be one of those snowballing champions. This is not looking good for Purple right now. Going to have to find some way to come back in the game, but I don't think they have enough damage or scaling to do anything at this point already. I'm still not a big fan of their comp. I don't think that the Skarner was a good pick. I think if you're going to pick the Malphite, and Morgana has a little bit of damage, but if you're not going to pick a Brand or an Amy or something like that, or Swain, then you're probably going to want to put more damage on your jungler. Something like, obviously the Nocturnes and Zhao were unavailable, but just something like
really trying to get in here on Malphite. Malphite not quite having enough mana. Does have the ult available yet, but not enough to use it. Does have to flash away. And like you were going off, I'll piggyback off of that too. The damage, there's this lackluster. You need something to combo with this Malphite, the Skarner. Yes, they can CC, but after that initial 3 to 5 seconds, where does your team go after that? It's on that back foot, and clearly we've seen the skills already tilted towards XRising, a little bit of a 2K gold lead as well, and I think this is one of those two where draft diff will definitely play a huge factor.
Yeah, I mean, we are only 7 minutes into the game. There's only 1,000 gold lead on to red, so this is definitely not, SOS. Send the special forces. What are we gonna do? They still have a strong mid lane. Graves is still, you always see the jungle Graves, and doesn't have all the time. When you put him in the mid lane, give him that soul link, give solo XP. Able to farm as much as he can. Graves still can do a lot of damage.
EP coming out, Skarner a little bit low, will be looking for something. He does have that ultimate, as well as Malphite. Shyvana going in, bursting down a whole bunch right there. Does kill Malphite ult, Unstoppable Force coming up, and nice shutdowns there from Malphite. Two of them going over there. Vladimir not able to come help, and a nice little top it. Hello, and I will say goodbye.
Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. Yeah, I mean, I definitely would have wanted to see the kills go on to the Graves, so he's able to push Cappy back more in this lane. I mean, Malphite, yes, he gets to buy more tanky items to at least survive in this lane against the Aurelia, so it's definitely not a bad thing. It didn't go to the Skarner, where I don't think he's just too far behind, where those kills kind of would have been useless, but.
Ooh, Thresh getting caught out right now. Definitely overextending without the vision. Does have the nice pink ward back of the line and should have just left it, as is.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have the vision on the Skarner. I don't believe. I think he passed those pink wards, but didn't. I don't think they saw him. I think that's why he felt comfortable.
Nice flash coming out too, just dodging that Skarner. A little bit of overzealousy by Cappy right there, but also doing well to get out of there. Shyvana was around the area, but I don't think would have had enough time to fully react.
Yeah, and honestly, like Laser, did get behind, but his rotations so far have been pretty good. Able to answer a lot of this aggression from Red, but I think this 800 Goldie is just a little. I don't know. It doesn't really show the true advantage of this game. Because I think really just giving this team a lead, unfortunately not going to be an Infernal Soul. Obviously, Infernal just went down. I would love to see an Infernal Soul on this
There could be
team.
a glitch, you never know.
Is every dragon from here on out be Infernal? Yeah. That could happen. Riot, wink wink. Just
Wink,
this
wink.
one.
Let me just call Faker up quick. I got his number on speed dial. Yeah, unfortunately, nothing like that
I'll text
happened.
Captain Flowers. We're homies. I think he knows some people.
Predator getting popped and ultimate coming out. That Thresh once again. Unfortunately, being able to cut out a little bit. Asher coming out does find the mark right there. Jin using the ult, trying to get back a little bit of time. Skarner, unfortunately, not able to have the damage output. Ash too far away, and Graves for the roam as well. Just not getting in there in time.
Yeah, I think maybe if they synced up the Skarner ult and then immediately followed by the Ashe, but Master Cat, a little con
Pressure
out.
coming out. Nice job grabbing that, dodging the binding as well. Dragon also coming up, and Rift Herald giving some much needed gold back up to that top lane after that shutdown that Malphite got.
I mean, Manny, he did, he does have the Bramble and the Steel Plate, so able to out-sustain the Aurelia. Oh!
Tower dive coming out right there. Fortunately, Tower getting the best shot of it, and then also with the Malphite ult tanking a little bit too much. Having that Bramble Vest and the Tier 2 boots complete as well, really doing nice damage. Vladimir just sitting in that bush, unfortunately, Pink not able to see it, and Ashe gets her right now. A lot of sustain coming out for Vladimir. Jin holding up Graves real nicely. A little bit of back and forth right now, but, ultimately a nice trade there, and a good job by Vlad.
I mean, I was mostly wanting to see that Thresh land. That was so close. I think that could have been at least another kill and possibly double kill if he got a good flay. But Manny kind of stuck in a
little bit of peekaboo
merry-go-round.
going back and forth. You don't really want to commit 100% just in case, but unfortunately it does work in the favor of him. Malphite using that flash trying to get out there, but with that Blade of the Rune King as well, just all the attack speed and passives and sustain, that's going to be hurting a lot. Dragon's still up, and no one looks to be eager to take it on spawn. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Purple's lead now increased to 2.4 thousand gold. Um, we'll see who is able to take this Mountain Drake. It is up. Neither junglers are there. Both of them are on the top side of the map. Mustard currently clearing vision. Soviet checking the dragon to see if they're taking it. Yeah, they have zero vision on the top side of the map, or at least in red side jungle, because they have 3 pink wards on the top side of the map for purple. So Skarner, he knows that Shyvana is ahead and will most likely try to counter jungle. So they're just gonna try and deny any possibility of that happening. But the thing is, Skarner is still top, while this dragon's been up for at least a couple minutes. So they're just going to give it up. There wasn't a rift up either, so I'm a little confused on that priority. I guess they're going to try and take this top jungle. Skarner trying to counter jungle and take Shyvana's camps, but nothing is there. So he's just wasting time right now and giving up a free dragon. Next dragon will be Soul Point, so we could be seeing a 24-minute dragon if Red is able to secure the next 2 dragons. So a little confused. I had just complimented Laser for his rotation, his pathing. That was very questionable.
And then mid lane 2 going up there, just staying mid and getting a little bit that far and back. They're at dragon. Get a ward on that bot side of that river. When they do come up, but it was a lot of time wasted. And once again, roaming without that vision as well. You see that here. Vladimir trying to grab that nice thresh hook out of there. Predator being popped by Skarner trying to get to him. Nice heal coming out. A little bit too much damage. Skarner coming out, but Aurelia's on the backside, and Shyvana is also coming there. Thresh is trying to delay as much as he can. Nice little pincer move, but unfortunately they're going to get out of the backside right there, headed back towards the tower. Really good trade right there, and a lot good money coming back there. So XRising just unfortunately caught out a little bit.
Yeah, this is game 3. This is the fight to be in the top of the standings. Neither team's going to give up. Purple's not going away quietly in the night. They've had, a little bit of a tough early game, but at the same time, they're capitalizing on a lot of Red's mistakes. So, really good play by them. This Ash Morgana has been playing pretty well outside of, that one time that they caught out, Aurelia able to TP and, turn the fight. If it wasn't for that TP, they would have just, backed off and taken that good trade. So, really good play by Techi for that teleport at that time. And now Cappy's just 2 ahead. He is, 40 CS up on Grays.
Shyvana, ulting in Enon, just about taking it out. That is going to be unlucky. But like you also stated too, this bot lane, both sides, playing very consistently. Yes, every once in a while they have been caught out either warding with TPs, but over the most part, this bot lane has just been an even fight throughout the entire series.
Yeah, and I can kind of see why they banned the Aurelia and Vlad. Techi and Cappy look very comfortable on these champions. I obviously the Malphite did finish the mythic, with Aurelia only having the Blade of the Ruin King. While he has that Bramble. So Malphite's still very hard to kill, but
Ashall coming out does find the support right now. Vladimir trying to get a little bit of damage, has to pull out. Shyvana taking the grunt of it as well. Malphite coming on the backside right there, finding that Vladimir already pulled out, and a nice shutdown without having any healing cut coming down for Vladimir, but still being able to burst him fully out. Meanwhile, on the top side, Aurelia is going to get a little bit of free farm as well, and nice wave clear, hopefully by Jin here. Not going to be able to give up a full tower. Thresh also around, but one good bind, a hook, it could definitely turn. Looks like they will be focusing down tower here with Rift Herald up. They might be headed back towards that. Nice shield as well. Just making sure Graves can step out of there.
Yeah, and Purple, doesn't have the damage, that we said we wanted them to have, but kind of hard to lose a fight when you're, it's a 4 versus 3. You have the numbers, you have the, the CC, yeah, you're going to win a fight like that. So, Red, if they want to win those fights, they have to have all members there. They win the 5 versus 5, but if Purple is able to pick someone out, with the Skarner ult, with the Ashe ult that we just saw, Morgana able to lock someone down. If they pick someone out and just throw all that CC on one person, especially when they already have a numbers advantage, yeah, they're gonna win that fight. And I really like that they immediately went for the mid tower. I always get annoyed when teams, they get, a big fight, kill, 2 to 3 members or something like that, and then do nothing with it, and then just recall. That always irks me. I mean, one of the best ways a team is to get ahead on a game is when you have, especially when you're behind, they're behind 2,000 gold. As soon as you get that advantage, as soon as you win that fight, start taking as much as you can and bring that gold lead down. Because now they're only down less than just about 1,500 gold.
Ult coming out right now, Malphite ult as well, and I'm binding as well. W for that Vlad pool being used just a little bit ago. I'm not quite sure if it was off cooldown or not. But those are the things that you have to play in your mind, and save. Like right now, Purple's doing a really good job of, picking the fights when they want to. Now, if I was on the opposite side, you do 1-3-1, it's gonna be a little difficult, but they are wombo comboing and being able on top of each other so well. Thresh again getting caught out, it's one of those where you have to be able to cut your losses. Vision is key, yes, but you have to use the buddy system. You have to have those numbers. You need to know where the team's at, and they're just giving up way too much.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Techi was not in that fight. Purple was grouped up, all 5, and they made Red pay for it. I like what they were doing because I think they did expect Red to try and contest the Vision in the Dragon Pit, and they preemptively and proactively met them in the jungle where they would start clearing the Vision. I guarantee Red did not predict that Purple would push up that much. I think they expected Purple to be near the Dragon Pit. So, really smart, I'd say, macro from Purple being there and able to pick out members of Red. So, great play by Purple. They're coming back in this game. They're still down 2,000 gold. Most of that being 3 towers to 2. And I believe, they're very large CS difference outside of the bot lane. CS difference coming from top, jungle, mid. And yes, the members of Red are still ahead, but if they keep getting caught out like this, that is not going to be the case going forward in this game.
Yeah, Ash Hero, really good job by that. I mean, there's definitely, I think the last 2 or 3 fights were started by, a longer engage. That does stun you for that 1 to 2 point seconds, allowing everyone to get that CC, hitting that clear target ult, for Malphite, for Skarner to drag you back for that Morgana. While they don't have the damage, it's still early enough where there isn't that big of a discrepancy from, the late game team fights or the hyper scaling as well. So if I'm looking, for XRising, I want to start, getting that vision back. If they're 5v5 or 1-3-1, and making the other team force, and choose, something bad. And then on the other side here, I'm hoping that they continue what they're doing, find them in those tight corridors, get the Malphite ults popping those primary targets, that Vlad, that Jhin, that Shyvana. Shyvana's really, really powerful, but at the same time, super squishy, and your ult has to be up. So if they can start playing around these cooldowns and around these people, it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, I will say Red does have further vision, so their vision wall is actually further up than the river, which is a good sign for a team trying to get ahead, trying to prevent those picks, and trying to get those picks because this is still a team that can get those picks with the Aurelia, with the Shyvana. They are able to capitalize on someone being caught out, but not nearly as much as Purple with the amount of CC that they have. There actually isn't a lot of I don't think we've touched on this game. There's not a lot of CC that's on the side of I mean they have if
do
they
like to
have
see
those
this
number
Aurelia
advantages,
matchup
that's what they're going to do.
with Graves
Red,
because
Red,
I
Red has
believe